Well, great news, sports fans. Sports are still being played for the right reasons. They're still as entertaining as they are character building. You just have to know where to find it. And you only have to look as far as your local Wisconsin high school. You know, the place where the games are exciting, concessions are affordable, and the parking is free. Where the emphasis is on hustle and heart instead of hype. If you prefer real, honest-to-goodness sport played for all the right reasons, you'll find it at your hometown high school. High school sports. Games are being played this weekend at a Wisconsin high school near you. Okay, everybody, who's in?
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We are Fox Sports.
I'm Doug Russell. A nice bounce-back win for the Brewers.
High fly, deep into right. Back is Benj. See ya. A 3-run bomb for Bryce Terang. It's his first in the month of August. So much for not hitting home runs. That was a big blast. 7-0 Brew Crew.
Jeff Levering on the call. The Brewers beat the Mets 8-1 at Citi Field. The rubber game of the series is tonight starting at 6:10. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Sean Manaea. Packers training camp practices are over. Just a Thursday walkthrough and Friday preseason finale are all that's left before the initial 53-man roster is made. Ahead of Wednesday's joint practice with the Cardinals, general manager Brian Gutekunst was asked about Tucker Kraft's looming extension. The GM saying, quote, "We would love to have that done. Whether we're able to accomplish that before the season begins, we'll see," end quote. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Bill Earth for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt.
Oh, God, this man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's get it. Thursday edition, Friday Junior. Who's ready? 5 o'clock clubbers. Who's ready to seize this wonderful day in the good land? Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian. Raise your hand if you're ready.
Ready.
I think I'm ready.
Come on now. We're ready.
All right, 3 arms go up. Let's fire up. It's going to be a bit tougher today because we don't have a major player-manager controversy to discuss.
Yeah, it is kind of nice when you get a couple of those, right? It is nice when you just get the red meat laid out for you, know exactly what to throw on the grill. Sometimes you got to sift through that kitchen a little bit and start digging through the fridge, figure out exactly what you're going to toss on there. But yeah, that ribeye steak of the Cooper Pratt and Pat Murphy layout was nice to be able to have.
That was
the buffet's over now.
That was almost as good as like an NFL game. Buffalo to feast on for a day.
Yeah. Man, and
nowadays the meals only last a day.
That's a good point. Yeah. And I gotta say, Drew, I didn't realize that it was going to be as hot as it was on MLB Network yesterday.
Big time.
I mean, every single show, it was one of their main attractions, main conversations, and then very split decision, somewhat like the fan base. There were some guys that liked it, some guys that hated it. Mark DeRosa said, happened to me at every level.
Yeah.
He's like, happened to me all the time. It's gonna happen. He will learn it, but it might have to learn that lesson one more time.
Yeah, nothing gets people's juices dripping like a good little culture war with basically anything. And now, maybe that was
dripping.
A
lot of times they flow.
Oh yeah, holy cow.
But you know, when it comes to anything like a little culture
I get that
war,
checked out.
Yeah, probably get
Your doctor.
Some ointment, maybe a little like a Jed York issue. But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Amoxicillin.
Nothing
He
gets
didn't get the drip. He didn't get there. He didn't get that far.
Nothing gets people going like something like that. But you know what? It seemed to rebound well last night. 2 hits for Cooper. Although they were the infield variety, but they count. They count in the box score. No one's going to care when they see it down there. And
saw that man hustling his way down the line, busting it real quick, huh?
That
was definitely learned.
When you drop the head down like a sprinter, I feel like you just making sure everyone knows, make sure you know, make sure everything knows that I'm going all the way like I'm running the 100. Like, that's it right here. Like, this is a full sprint in case anyone was wondering. So it was great to see the bounce back, especially, facing early adversity, Dustin May taking one off the back.
No. Bobby Gasser. How about that
Bobby
kid?
Gasser stepping? That's what a team depth is, right?
And that's the thing is you just had a frustrating loss marked by, benching.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out and you leave 2 men on in the top of the first, and in the bottom of the first, your guy throws one pitch. Your big trade acquisition throws one pitch and gets smoked in the back and has to leave.
Ugh.
That's not a recipe. That's not a blueprint necessarily for great success. And yet, thanks to Gasser and like 5 1/3 solid innings.
Cool.
No worries.
No, and
May seems like he's okay, just a bruise, might be ready to pitch in a couple days.
And it's crazy, Drew, how when you look at the 16 games in 16 days, that felt like as he walks off the field, you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to be an absolute marathon that you're going to have to run through a 7-game and 10-day stretch against the Cubs at the back end of it. And instead, the bullpen is going to be pretty saved. I like McCalvy mentioning that to or asking Dustin May that way yesterday. Now, Gasser was slated to pitch on Friday again, or what they had just announced their probables coming up for the weekend.
It was a bullpen day for him, so it wasn't going to be, It
was all right, sweet. I got you. I got you. Skip
in the game,
and and potentially, as we had talked about here on this show, that there might be a Coleman Crow sighting coming up sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
maybe September 1st can't come soon enough after that one, but that was heck of a job. That was nails by Robert Gasser.
What awesome! When the team needed it. I mean, when your depth's tested, that's what it's all about right there. Being ready at a moment's notice.
Obviously, the Brewers have bigger goals, bigger fish to fry, more juices to drip.
Got to get those juices dripped. Come on now,
juices dripping.
Come on, let's drip them, baby.
For those of us of a certain vintage, you can't help but mark that yesterday was their 82nd victory.
That was it.
I was going to say old habits die hard.
Winning record
on this sheet
on August 26th. Winning record secured. There were times.
There was a time that was a dream in a young boy's eye.
Time when
a glint in an eye at 82.
It'd be great to have the Brewers have a winning record. Here they are, more than a month left with a winning record.
How times have changed, right? We don't celebrate those milestones the way we used to.
Got to celebrate.
Some might, but Armen Sarian does, because not only was it that they won their 82nd game, Drew, Brewers clinch win 82. The signal of, hey, the winning season is here once again. That's step number one. I don't even know that one's on the old Mike McCarthy line anymore.
No, it might not be, but it's
win 86 games, win 90 games. Oh, we know we're going to be in the middle.
We want to win the North. We want to take 10 games. Listen, and that's why I said, that magic number. I have to be careful. I said magic number. That number is still magic to me. When I see 82, it still means something. You don't want to lose that little glint, that energy when you were first scrapping, trying to find any way to win and trying to make this franchise better. When you're a kid and you're hoping for just the smallest morsel of hope. That was it right there. That was the goal. So I don't want to lose that.
I disagree. I do want to lose that.
You want that to be in the rearview mirror, Billy?
I don't want to.
You want to move up in stature. I get it.
I don't want to think and make sure that we remember all of the times for 26 years where you did. It wasn't 26 years that they weren't over 500. There were plenty of times that they were in the 90s, but you don't make the playoffs. But I do want to forget that. I do want that to be completely in the rearview mirror, because what you're aligning out is that it's coming back.
Well, no.
What you're trying to do is give me the 70s and 80s Packers fan conversation of just know it's not going to be this good all the time.
70, we went through in the 70s and 80s. We heard that a lot. We hear that a lot. Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying, Billy. We don't want to go back to those days, but I feel like never forgetting where we came from is important, right? Because it reminds us of the struggle, and maybe that way. But you know what? The standards are definitely higher now, and I understand what you're saying in that sense. Is that no, we have higher standards now. We don't want to we don't want to ever remember when we had to struggle, So I guess there's a couple ways to look at it, but that's still a number that maybe it's PTSD, but that's still a number that sticks in my head. All right, that's the first hurdle. 82. 82 is the first hurdle.
Yep.
Not 81 because you want 82, but those days are gone.
Heroes abound last night in Flushing. Gasser had his outing. Frelick comes back, gets on base 4 times.
Setting the tone too, leading off.
3 hits.
Setting the tone.
Setting the tone.
I say a lot about
Bryce
him,
Wilson, who they tried to get rid of like a bad penny. They couldn't get rid of him.
Tried to cut him so many times.
I'm not getting you. You're not getting rid of me, guys.
Brewers had a reliever years ago.
Get my uniform ready.
Years ago, the Brewers had a reliever just like kind of Bryce Wilson. Like they couldn't quit him. They cut him, bring him back, send him to the minors, bring him back, and he was not good. And one of my media brethren, one of my mentors in the media, referred to him as a buoyant turd that just couldn't be flushed.
He'll stay floating every day.
He stayed floating.
Just like right at the top of that water.
He was a steelhead popping out of the water.
With Lascanic weathers. I'm trying to think who you're talking about.
And he couldn't be flushed. He just kept surviving spin after spin of the bowl circling.
Won't you go down?
Hey, there's something to be said for that, right?
It was resilient for sure. But Bryce Wilson hasn't walked a guy in quite a while, so he's got that going for him.
And he's been good. And for Grant Anderson, listen, it might not be the high leverage spot that some people want to see him get into, but whenever you cover the innings, you cover them when they appear and when they arise. And that's good stuff for him. But Bryce Wilson, I would love to know the mathematics, Drew, of how many guys have been cut, DFA'd twice in a week by a team.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
He definitely is going to could be in the conversation at some particular point. I don't know that his DFA tags will end up rolling back at some point because he's just going to be the fireman. And whenever they need 3 innings, there you go. And if you can't cover us again, then we're going to have some problems. But he's been phenomenal for him since they got him from the Cubs.
22 innings without a walk, thanks to a Contreras challenge.
My goodness.
Well, that's the job. He's doing the job they want, right? Get in there, eat up innings, throw strikes. And he's happy with that role. And it's like, keep cutting me. I'll keep coming back whenever you need me.
So
I'll just be waiting right here in the backyard.
Plenty of positives for the Brewers coming off an extra inning loss from the night before. That was a good bounce back in many ways, showing resilience because of what happened with Dustin May. And he looks like he's going to be okay. They dodged one there.
That's a scary situation.
He got smoked. 1 pitch start for the guy that you went and got in the trade market is just wild. But
Drew, I think it's like the second or third time he's gotten hit significantly this year. He had one when he was with the Cardinals against the Braves. I want to say it went off his leg, and he ended up pitching through it, but then gave up 4 or 5 runs in that first inning as he tried to grit through it. So, everybody can react differently. As he said last night, he's like, I just couldn't catch my breath. I just couldn't catch my breath. No kidding. I don't know that I would be able to either if 100-mile-an-hour screamer came back at me, or that I would much want to. That's one of those things, Drew, where you do realize how that's a very, very short distance, and that 100 miles an hour comes on you pretty quick from 60 feet 6 inches.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And he took it like a G. You almost he showed no pain initially, and he was just standing there. I'm like, is this man hurt? Or because I think I would be hurt. And then you could see him really start to kind of double over because then it starts to probably throb on you. But that's, very painful. And like you said, the good thing there is, I'm sure there's a tendency by a competitor to say I can pitch through it and this and that. And who knows what kind of performance it would have been. But discretion, the better part of valor, making sure to get him out, make sure he's good. And then I'm sure, having to use Robert was not in the cards for Murph, but they had to do it and he got the job done. So I'm glad they made that move, even though I'm sure it was tempting to see, hey, are you okay, Dustin?
How about the Brewers getting 6 hits in a row?
Little league rally or little small market rally, Billy, right?
Yeah, that was definitely a small market rally. But for them to get 6 hits in a row, and I think they were 8 for 15 with runners in scoring position last night. That gives you a different look than the 2 for 14.
Then 2 for 14. Yeah. And so which one helped them win the game more, Drew? Cooper Pratt hustling out of the box twice or the 8 for 15?
I'm going to say the 8 for 15.
just like on Tuesday night. I think the 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position was more the reason they lost, but hey, it makes it for a lot more fun.
Got 2 hits and scored 2 runs, so he's doing all right. And Terang hit a home run this first in the month of August.
Oh, after a little late night batting session with Coach
Yelich,
Christian Yelich. I love that.
He hit his 19th homer after a 19-game drought, his longest of the season. So those are the types of things like, okay, Bryce Turang, that gave him breathing room. That was the game right there when they went up a touchdown.
Well, and think about how much different their season has been. Their win-loss is right around the same spot. Drew, he had 10 homers in the month of August last year.
I know.
That was
and what, he goes almost 3 full weeks in the month of August without one this year.
Crazy hot streak, yeah.
Brewers, it was a good night for them, and it'll be a good night tonight if they can win the series. Just keep winning series. You got nothing to worry about. The Cubs, don't worry about it. Win the series.
No, and they lose another full game yesterday to the Cubbies in the chase for the NL Central.
Shut
now that was
out.
6.5 games. Shut out and tossed out. Now, Pete Crow Armstrong may have definitely earned that ejection. And I mean, it's 5:14. We've already hit the pause button. PCA had to hit the pause button on himself yesterday. It was an entertaining post game for a young man that I did appreciate him saying, "Hey man, I'm still not going to apologize for it." I think at the end of the day, I was still right. I like that kind of confidence. I also like when you go 1 for 12 in a series. It makes it a lot better. Makes it a lot better to watch for.
Yeah, he was the hottest hitter in baseball, or one of them at least, until that, and he really went through it a little bit. But that was nice, and I can get that audio if you guys want to hear it. But they were mad about a balk that wasn't called, which they had good argument for. I think
they sure did.
Replays,
oh yeah, definitely.
Four umpires.
He strands too.
I saw 4 umpires miss a pretty obvious play. When a guy is shoving it down your throat, pause. You got to find any way you can to make something happen, and that's exactly what I was just trying to do.
That's it, basically. The pause is there, and maybe I'll save that for games and kicks on Monday.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, but no, they had a good argument with that one. There's no question about it.
That's one of those that, okay, well, shouldn't that be reviewable? Because that's a pretty easy review.
That one does feel like the easiest thing to review, right? When a guy starts and stops the motion.
Hairline like that, yeah, it's like, come on.
But hey, I'm very, very glad that Rodriguez was as good as he was yesterday. I mean, talk about an all-star performing like an all-star, Eduardo Rodriguez. We appreciated that. We needed that. Strike out 9 of those sons of guns. But what a flip the series can go. What did they score? What was the stat yesterday? 31 straight runs.
Unanswered, yeah.
31. Yeah.
Runs.
And then in 10 innings, they give up 7. They go 7-0 and lose the series. That's a heck of a turnaround. And some folks would say, a smart man off to my right might say that's just baseball.
Yeah. Pete Crow Armstrong was pretty funny last night, I got to say.
He was very entertaining. Very entertaining. Also, Quentin Berry knew he was properly jacked up. He had to work out some offensive line tactics right there. He was slide protecting.
He was really good.
Good hand placement right in the chest plate. That's exactly what you coach. Thumbs up. And even in the video, in the picture, you can see thumbs up, you're controlling the man at that point. So Quentin Berry, as much as the speed demon probably was a wide receiver or something, might have been a good blocking wide receiver with that video that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, in the kind of in the armpits there. Like, it was interesting to hear the breakdown. I don't know if it was John Boy or one of those guys. I'm sure it was John Boy, the lip reading and stuff. It's like they clearly like get Pete out of here. We don't want him to get thrown out. This is like a 0-0 game. We need him. Like, get out of here, Pete. I got him. And Quentin's just telling me up. I got him. It's no problem here. Don't worry. I got him.
Brewers lead the Cubs by 6.5.
6.5. 7 in the loss column.
They lead the Dodgers by 2 for the best record in ball. And so that's comforting.
Dodgers got walked off again last night.
Yeah, they're going through it. They've been going through it for a month or so at least. Dodgers fans are uncomfortable. I mean, a little bit. The jubilation of winning the Skubal trade has kind of faded away, and they're trying to figure out how to start winning consistently again.
Yeah, it has.
I won't cry a river for him.
I mean, I don't feel bad for him. I'm just telling you how they feel. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I shed no tears. Absolutely. But I mean, they did the same thing. If you remember last year, they were kind of struggling. They had to play the first round in the playoffs and then started dominating people, unfortunately, as we know firsthand on the other end of it. But we'll see. But that is interesting as well. A little development in the National League. So a lot to follow here down the stretch as we approach September. But a good night for the Brewers.
Plenty going on.
Yeah.
Plenty going on. 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Let's hear from our 5 o'clock clubbers. Give us a check-in in this morning. We're,
How was the vestibule? Loaded up this morning?
It was, yeah. They were
chomping at the bit on a Friday, Junior.
Funny, not as many as yesterday. So I don't know what, but it's still a robust turnout as people were getting ready.
I got to think Wednesday a high day, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe you take Thursday off a little bit.
Probably awesome. You're right. Yeah. Then gear up and then get it in Friday, and you're good for the weekend.
Yeah, and then you're off and running.
Little cruise.
Did I hear fake hustle over on that side of the
yeah. I mean, Monday and Wednesday, it's like the guys that'll go to they'll do their New Year's resolutions in January, but they'll fade away. If you're about it, stay consistent. No, through Thursday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday isn't consistent?
I mean, if you want to be about it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
You got to give yourself an off day, JJ Watt.
Maybe.
Jeez, sorry. I didn't realize bodybuilder Armen Sarian over there was just ripping out 5 days a week.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
At least I don't pretend to work out. That's the whole key.
There you go.
Pete Chang on YouTube. Happy Throwback Thursday, fellas. Great response from Coop and Gas last night. Murph loves work. Murph's moves work. He probably loves work too. Nice return for Sal. Tough break for May, though. I mean, I say a lot of things about Sal. Some deserve, some not, probably. Some passive, some aggressive. But there's no questioning his value for this team. And it's sometimes not measured. But the way he was able, he comes back, leads off, boom, right away. Base hit, set the tone. 3 hits last night. You just got to love a guy like Sal for those things, for what he can give you. And sometimes I talk about the things he doesn't give. But the things he does give, the important glue guys there. Last night, mentoring Cooper in the dugout. Tonight, 2 nights ago. Then last night, boom. I'm going to make my impact right away at the plate. Get this place fired up. Yelling into the dugout. You got to love that.
Got to love it.
Huge.
Packers going to have a little walkthrough today because they've got their preseason finale coming up Friday night against the Arizona Cardinals, who were in for a joint practice, and Billy was on the perch with the voice of the Packers,
awesome.
Wayne Larrivee, yesterday. We're going to talk about that. Everything that Billy saw.
Tucker.
We're going to talk about that as we move forward.
The wins, the losses.
Also going to talk to our friend Tim McCormick from the Milwaukee Mile. In fact, we could do that next.
Some good.
And get some cream puffs this weekend. Come on now,
let's
baby.
Let's fire up for some cream puffs. It's race week at the Milwaukee Mile. They got a double header coming up this weekend. Nationally televised. Big implications for the championship. We can talk about that next and then spin into Packers. Who knows what direction we're going to go in. That's why you join us here, The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Back on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian, bringing it to you. You know, boys, when you think of doubleheaders, you might think of, in the past, Monday Night Football or baseball, but we got a racing IndyCar doubleheader at the Wisconsin State Fair, the Milwaukee Mile, the historic oval in West Dallas. And here to talk about it, this weekend's proceedings, is communications director for the Wisconsin State Fair. It's Tim McCormick. Tim, thank you for joining us. I know you're busy. It is going to be a big weekend at the Oval.
The only doubleheader on the schedule for the 2026 season. So we're very excited, thrilled. There's still a lot up for grabs in the point standings, so a lot of action to be decided this weekend.
And Tim, as somebody who went to my first race at the Mile, IndyCar, with my dad, he's been going to races for years and years and years. What is the best part about this exact track? Because you mentioned it's the longest oldest continuously operating motor speedway. It's a part of the schedule, and being back on with the Grand Prix and the doubleheader, it makes it unique because it's such a unique spot.
It's got all that great history, just like you were talking about. I love when I get to encounter some of the old timers that have been here to see Al Unser, AJ Foyt, all those great classic names here. But I think it was a year or 2 years ago, there was the sites for the race here at the Milwaukee Mile. That was the most passes that had taken place out of any of the entries throughout the season here. So I was talking to somebody else the other day, and they say that you're never out of the race. There's always an opportunity to come from behind, to make that pass, to get the checkered flag. And then you add in just the fair fun that we get to have here. So we're going to have a lot of the vendors that will still be open, maybe even providing some of those Sporkies finalists. If you didn't get a chance to try those during the state fair, we'll have a DJ spinning. And then again, the access to those racers. There's fan forums, there's autograph sessions. You can check out the whole schedule. We do open Friday for practice laps, in addition to the makers and fixers 250 on Saturday, and then the Snap-on 250 on Sunday. Check out wistatefair.com to find your tickets and then figure out the schedule of when you want to be here.
Good to have racing back at State Fair Park in West Dallas after about 8 years. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the drivers seem to get very excited. They sense the history of the place, but they also like the oval. Or maybe is it that they like, custard and cheese curds and Sporkies and cream puffs, maybe. I don't know, but you talk to these guys. They seem to really, I don't think it's fake. I mean, I'm sure they're like comedians or musicians. Like, great to be here in Insert City here. But they seem to really dig this spot.
I think we had a couple of people enjoying some Miller Lights with the fans last year. And of course, I don't know if there's a more iconic winner's circle once you get that cream puff in the face after you get the checkered flag. Again, for fans, for race cars, drivers, for the organization, for our friends at Indy, everybody talks about what a unique experience it is. We're very excited that it's really coming down to the wire for who's going to take the title for the 2026 season home. So like I said, a lot to be determined. No, all the drivers are going to be going all out because there's just a few races. We've got 2 this weekend here at the Milwaukee Mile, 1 more out in California to finish off the season. So they'll be trying to get every point they can for those end of year standings.
Well, and that's where the real money's made. And now this is money time when it's on the table. Yeah. And being able to put this on the table and on the docket, what has the reaction been like for fans and race fans in the city? Because the Mile is a unique place, and it's something that's very important to people in Milwaukee. And being able to be back in the state and have racing again, it feels like a big win for the folks of the area.
Absolutely. We're very excited. The investment that Indy has shown in Wisconsin, not only here at the Milwaukee Mile, but also out at Road America, just a fantastic event and course there, of course. But once you're talking about a track that's older than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we date back to 1903. I think the racers, the fans, everybody realizes that history is literally made at every turn here. So when you get that ticket, again, there's so much more than just the action on the track. We've got a custom car show. Again, those autograph sessions, the fan forums. Everybody's very excited that we get the chance to show off Wisconsin and show off the Milwaukee Mile for just about the last races of the season here.
Tim McCormick, Communications Manager for Wisconsin State Fair, joining us here on the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armen. Okay, what's the turnaround been like for you and your team? Because you just said goodbye to State Fair, and now you're having another huge event. You guys running on fumes? No pun intended. Change some tires?
Yeah, no tires.
Yeah.
No brakes. Again, it's just fantastic that you get to work. Again, it's tough to pull them off back to back, but we've got an incredible team here. We have been working on this all year round, even years in advance, knowing what the calendar is going to bring to us, knowing that the fair wraps up, and then you've got to get your focus onto the race. But when you're inviting, tens of thousands of your favorite rowdy friends to come cheer on those race car drivers for the fastest sport on earth, it makes things a little bit easier when you know you're going to be delivering those smiles and, again, all the fun to be had throughout all 3 days of the weekend.
I know you have tickets available at wistatefair.com, right? And that does that include garage passes and infield passes? How can we, if I want to go, how do I maximize my experience? How do I VIP myself?
Absolutely. Check it out at wistatefair.com. Not only just those tickets to the grandstands, but if you want to get those couple of add-ons, those additional experiences that will last a lifetime, we have you covered there. But again, there's even the free family zone. If you just want to check out, get up close and personal to a show car, again, try to check out those autograph sessions for the Indy, NTT, and NXT drivers on Friday. A lot of opportunities to get in on the action.
I was just going to ask the family friendly zone, that area, because listen, I got 3 and a 1-year-old, but when they see the cars, they're going to be excited. Show car, nothing in the garage that they can touch, they can be dangerous, but something good that you can get up close and personal with available.
Absolutely. Again, our friends at Vintage Indy will be bringing some of those cars from races gone by. There's a classic and custom car show taking place on the 29th and 30th. So again, just for pretty pictures, for things that make you go, ooh, when they go vroom, we've got you covered in spades.
Man, I don't know who's going to like that more, my dad or my son.
That's going to be
grandpa or grandson might be having more fun with that one.
Isn't that fantastic? I mean, that's been our modus operandi for the State Fair as well as for the Milwaukee Mile and all the racing action here. It's rare that you get an intergenerational outing like this that's going to bring smiles to everybody. And you just nailed it there. It's going to be grandma and grandpa hanging out with grandsons and their kids, just enjoying themselves. The weather looks ideal, knock on wood, that Mother Nature still cooperates with us. But a rare opportunity that you get to go the whole family out for an outing like this.
Tim, when you go to a major golf event, oftentimes it's fun to just go around on the practice day, on the Wednesday or the pro-am day. Like, it's cool. So what is the vibe like on Friday? It's obviously more casual, relaxed because it's not a race, it's just practice. But what is the vibe like for people on Friday who might have other plans on Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, I got very lucky. I got to try get up and close and personal with a testing day earlier this summer here, and just seeing those guys. They make it look easy for these practice laps, but I tell you, it's anything but. So we open up at noon on Friday. That's the garages, the grandstands, and the free fan zone. Those all open up at noon. 2:45 to 3:45. You've got the NTT IndyCar driver autograph session. 4 to 4:45, the NXT by Firestone driver autograph session, and then the practice sessions going on throughout the day. It is an opportunity, again, that I don't know you can have with other sports, with other experiences, where you'll be able to get up close and personal and see how they tinker, see how they work on their engine, see how they work on their game, and then again, get the chance to maybe ask them a question or two as you're getting your hat or your shirt signed.
What's more complicated when it comes to loading in? Would it be the cars and all the stuff and all the equipment, or the Fox TV camera crews coming in to get ready? So who's got, logistically, who's the bigger pain?
They're all a dream to work with. We're very happy to have those partners at Fox who are broadcasting throughout the world here, giving us a chance to show off Milwaukee, show off Wisconsin. We've got some little tricks up our sleeve here that we're excited to reveal come race days. I think everybody has been fantastic to work with. They're getting towards the end of the season, so they've got this load in and load out down at this point. They're just looking for the action on the track as well.
They should be relieved, because coming to the oval, it's just, there's so many advantages to the oval. It makes it unique, but you're just coming off of a DC race, drive through the streets of
correct.
Of DC,
the streets all over
Capitol,
the place. Yep.
And so it's like, it couldn't be a more stark change for everything, logistics, and even camera angles and positions and stuff like that. It's got to be pretty easy for them.
for them, and then also a huge advantage for how we have the grandstands and how the oval is set up. You can see the entirety of the action, like you're talking about in DC. If you're stationed at one part of the road course, you're not seeing a whole lot else except for when they turn by there. So it's an amazing opportunity to see the full-fledged race, all of the action, cruising around on that historic oval that dates back to the 1900s here.
All right, and now food. You're talking to the fat guy on the show. Last thing, Tim.
Yeah.
When we talk about the fair food that's going to be there, can I lock in the fact of a cream puff, maybe a blue ribbon brownie? What can be some of the teasers that we can have for the tasting that rolls through?
Yeah, we're very excited. A lot of our vendors that have featured items that you saw on the Sporkies and Drinkies menu. Very excited. Our good friends, Blue Moon Tavern in the Park, will be bringing out their chicharrones, which again was a finalist for the Sporkies this year. Badger Bites, Pistol Pete's, Wild Dog Saloons, Pop's Paradise. I could go on and on, but somebody's going to get mad at me for not listing them. But just know, come hungry, and we've got you covered there as well.
That's fantastic. All right, Tim, here's a personal question for you. How many cream puffs do you consume in the month of August?
Don't out the guy like that.
I'm just wondering, because if you work at the Hershey plant, you might not have a candy bar every day, but you're there, you're ensconced in it. What's the tally? How many?
I'm not trying to break any records, but I do know it's very nice to have those at hand when you do get the craving, which I say is often because you can't get them any other time. It is fantastic to have them in the backdrop of the Wisconsin State Fair at the Milwaukee Mile. We will have those original cream puffs available for you. So you let me know how many you down, and I'll try to do one more.
See if we can match it. That'd be amazing.
Let's take out one of those 3-packs.
You mentioned gates open at noon on Friday with the practice starting at 5. The practice goes on 2, 4, and 5, right? And the Indy cars at 5.
Yep.
And then what about Saturday and Sunday? Because you can get there pretty early to fire up on Saturday.
You can. Yeah, Saturday open up at 7 a.m. We're here all day through 8 p.m. is when we're going to have to tell you you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Sunday opening up at 7:30, ending at 5. But make sure to check out the entire schedule at wistatefair.com. Check it out. High noon on Sunday, the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, and then the Snap-on Makers and Fixers on Saturday kicks off at 1:30 with the green flag.
I imagine there will be robust business at Paulie's and Tompkins and Liquid Johnny's and some of the establishments nearby. People getting ready. That's going to be pretty epic. It should be a pretty good weekend. Tim, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Best of luck. Hope the weather holds for you like it has been.
Much appreciated. We'll see you at the races.
You bet. Thanks. Tim McCormick, Communications Manager for the Wisconsin State Fair. wistatefair.com. Buy your tickets.
That's going to be so good. Cream puffs and racing. What's better than that?
Well,
and beer?
If you're old like me, you remember it used to be the Indy 500 would be held, and then they'd go to Milwaukee. Everybody goes from Indy to Milwaukee, and it was right there, and you'd be pouring the milk. Now it's like you're later in the season. It's a good date, though, pre-Labor Day in this window.
What a perfect time to have one more thing before the end of summer. And
to have the races Saturday and Sunday. Fox on Saturday will have it at noon, and then Sunday, the Indy race it's going to be pretty wild.
And it's cool
12:20
that you can roll throughout the day, right? The early stuff for the kids, maybe walk around, get a nap in, come right back for the race, and make a long day a little shorter for the younger ones, or for the older ones like me.
There you go.
That's a good day.
So yeah, it's 1:30 TV time on Saturday and I believe noon on Sunday on Fox, on Big Fox. And then they give way to football pretty soon. So it's kind of the last hurrah there.
And I'm taking my boy Kyle Kirkwood.
Pretty sweet. There you go.
Come on, Kyle.
All right. Billy's got some sweet action on it. Everything's better with sweet action. Going to take a quick break. You were in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, worldwide on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube for a band that we call the 5 o'clock club, made up of early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths who wait for the health club to open at 5 and beat on the doors to do so. All are welcome to the 5 o'clock club. You can reach us at 877-794-1973. That's the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We're going to talk Packers, Cardinals, everything that Billy gleaned from yesterday, being up in the
good
perch
stuff
with Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers. But first, our go-to guy on all things Brewers is Hunter Baumgardt, and he provides a recap for us after most Brewers games, including the palate cleansing victory last evening in New York. I wonder if Nags was at that game too. He was at the first game.
He actually was. A little peek behind the curtain. We were supposed to do a Carry the G Radio, the podcast last night, and then I get a text as I'm getting ready to pull into the driveway from Aaron Nagler. Said, "Hey man, I'm really sorry. I got a Danny Whalen on this thing tonight. I got to punt it.
Got
free tickets to the Brewers game.
Outstanding.
Like, all right, go get us a W, and that's all good in the neighborhood.
It's a great excuse, isn't it? I mean, yeah,
fantastic. All right, take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers get a nice bounce-back blowout victory, 8-1 over the Mets last night. They'll go for the series win with Miz on the mound tonight. How about on the offensive side, a 4-run second inning, 6 straight singles in that inning. The Brewers have the most 4+ run innings without a home run this season at 22. The next closest team has 18. How about last night? 8 hits with runners in scoring position. That is double what the Brewers had in their prior 2 games to that combined. So all in all, a good night for the offense. Sal Frelick was on base 4 times in his return from the IL. Bryce Terang with his first home run in August. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. On the pitching side, Robert Gasser was the hero of the night. Through 82 pitches, 5 1/3. We knew he was available out of the bullpen coming into the game, but he was also set up to start on Sunday, and he was dynamite. Dustin May had to leave after just 1 pitch, getting hit in the back with a line drive. Pat Murphy said after the game, it looks like he's going to be okay. X-rays were negative, so we'll monitor that. But Robert Gasser, 5 1/3, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Remember, last time out, he was taken out in the middle of an at-bat because Pat Murphy didn't like how he was pitching with a lead. Well, he pitched much better with a lead last night, and the Brewers get the victory. By the way, 82 pitches for Robert Gasser. That means that is the most by a Brewers reliever since Quinn Priester threw 86 last July 11th. So the Brewers going for the series win, as I mentioned tonight, against the Mets. Jacob Mizorowski on the mound for the Crew. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show at 5 on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee and our social channels. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. I'll talk to you guys at 7:25 to talk more about the Crew. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter B.
Whew.
Always erstwhile Hunter Baumgardt. He will join us at 7:25, as mentioned.
Only Hunter's going to find a stat on the most pitches in a relief appearance. That's why we love him. But that being able to not be the piggyback plan ends up being a heck of a save for Robert Gasser yesterday. And I mean, it really is impressive that the 2 guys that in the most recently had caught the right hand of Murph, the wrath of the manager, end up both being successful and being one of the big reasons why they had the blowout. And Drew, I do like the small market rallies. I'm a big fan of being able to just string singles together, score a bunch of runs. It is fun. That 3-run homer is pretty nice. Like I would love to know how we can unlock just a few more of those. We don't need to hit more home runs than anybody else. I know the Brewers are in the top 5 or 6 in baseball in this category, which you hit them as long as you make them count. Let's just find more chances to get the 3-run home.
That'd be nice.
They can keep all the solo shots somewhere else. Well, the volume is fine. We just want the quality of them. Let's find out how to hit more of them with 2 guys on.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Right.
Also, that home run proved that I'm still undefeated and not being able to tell when it's a homer off the bat. That thing looked like a fly ball on TV off the bat. I don't know about you guys. Looked like a pop-up. All of a sudden, the thing's going over the wall.
It pretty good.
Really?
I was going to
I'm just bad at it. I am just bad at it.
You just got to watch Bryce.
To see how he has no reaction ever, though.
Are you kidding? He held the bat up there, holding it for a good 2 seconds. He knew exactly what he had just done.
I feel like he shows no emotion, so I could never tell.
When he leans back on it and holds the pose for a quick second, you know that he liked it.
Yeah, when he looks annoyed at himself for hitting a homer, that's when you know it's gone. That's his default.
Did we pack up too early on the Murph Pratt thing? It's like, okay, that was yesterday's news. It was yesterday's topic.
We can load up on it.
Adam McCalvey has a good story kind of recapping it. And the headline, which I don't know, I don't think Adam writes, but Pratt's benching was about Brewers culture, not just him. And so what Adam did was spun through the clubhouse, went to the unofficial team captain, Christian Yelich, talked to him, talked to Frelick and Bowers, who talked to Pratt on the bench.
Love that, yes.
And talked about the whole thing about it's the Brewers. We talked about it yesterday. It was Brewers culture. Quote from Christian Yelich. I think stuff like that is done for a bigger picture. Being around Murph, he does that stuff with the goal in mind of performing and winning in October. Those games are won and lost on the margins and execution and no mental or physical lapses.
Great lesson to learn. Great time to be able to do it.
He always puts it in perspective, Yelly. He's so good at that.
Yeah. Frelick, coming from a guy who's been benched multiple times by Murph, it's not always 100% directed at the person getting benched, and there's 1,000 different reasons. From the past, when I've seen guys get benched, including myself, it's usually when a few days have piled on of not playing to that standard. A message needs to be sent.
Right.
I don't think anybody was surprised when it happened last night.
And that was a big point by Hunter talking to him in the office yesterday. Yeah. It's like it wasn't just one play.
It wasn't just for Pratt because it doesn't happen in a vacuum. Everybody else watches it.
It's a great point. And that's probably what they were telling Cooper in his ear in the dugout. And that's why
Jake Bauers, arguably the Brewers MVP this season. I think if you ask Cooper, he's going to tell you that he should have got the bunt down and he should have been on second base. I do think there's times for messages to be sent, especially as we're coming up on the playoffs here. We're getting a bunt down with runners on first and second. Nobody out can be the difference of a playoff game.
Amen.
And if the lesson is nothing else besides, I need to make sure I'm locked in enough to get the job done, then that's what it takes.
And also, like, if for a rookie, 21 years old, to be called upon to get the bunt down, and to not get the bunt down, brother, that is going to be part of why you're on the team.
Right.
Like, that's going to be a fact of how you're going to be able to make yourself in October.
Christian Yelich. In my personal opinion, I don't really think it had a whole lot to do with not going to second there. I think it was a culmination of events with a greater goal in mind for 6 weeks from now, if you want my honest opinion.
I love that.
We do want the honest opinion.
I love that.
Let's go.
And why is it still unofficial? Are we keeping to some tradition?
Come on.
Make him the captain.
Yeah.
Like what is there some unofficial? What is the whole point of it? Are we just we don't do captains? I get it, but put a C on it.
Great quote from Murphy about it. Was this message just for Pratt? And he said, "Do we have any teams that are vying to be the top team this year with 3 kids in their lineup who are 22 and younger? Probably not."
I love that.
Then you have other guys who are 2 years in or 3 years in, and guys who've been part-time players. I mean, we're piecing it together with non-veterans, so to speak. For us, I think it's crucial they get it.
He also said after I watched the video, I'm like, oh, he didn't dog it as much as I thought he did. But I think the ball was up there long enough. I think it was up there long enough. After I watched it, maybe I give you a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
However, I was not liking the way you were looking. That's exactly what all those guys explained in the culmination of events. That's the, I just don't want to see your face anymore.
The best quote of the entire, this is a great piece by Adam. I encourage everybody to read it at brewers.com. But the best quote comes from Frelick, not surprisingly. Frelick's a stand-up guy, and he's the A student. He's,
he is a good teacher's pet, no doubt about it. Yes.
School. Frelick said, as the team took it, there wasn't one person who disagreed with it, the Pratt benching. There also wasn't one person who was mad at Coop for anything he did. Like, it's just how we play.
Perfect.
There's a standard of how we play.
Perfect. That's how it's supposed to be.
So that was it. Yeah, no one's mad at Cooper Pratt. No one's mad at Murph. Let's go get him tomorrow.
Let's go win it tomorrow. That's a hell of a mantra. That's a hell of a way to go about it.
When we come back, we'll get Billy's recap of Packers Cardinals, the controlled scrimmage, which was actually like a preseason game. That's next. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The ups and downs of a baseball season are going to give fans fits. There are ebbs and flows. Right now, anyway, the Brewers are in a flow.
Yelich bangs one into right, a base hit. That'll get another run home. Terang puts on the brakes. It's 8-1.
Jeff Levering on the call. That's how it would end. The Brewers beating the Mets 8-1 at Citi Field. The rubber game of the series is tonight starting at 6:10. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Sean Manaea. So that's the flow, whereas the Cubs right now are in a little bit of a mini ebb.
Waller pokes this to right. Suzuki chasing it down, looking up, and it's gone. That's the first run given up by a Cubs starting pitcher in this series.
Diamondbacks TV with the call. Arizona blanks Chicago last night 2-0. Entering play tonight, the Brewers lead over the Cubs in the division is 6.5 games. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love
Everybody wake now! Everybody wake!
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board got to do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit down now and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide left. Fake 396 bag. Be hand. See puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Thursday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew Olson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian, your tag team partners here on a Thursday, the day after Packers joint practice / LaFleur family picnic / Melton family picnic at Ray Nitschke Field. The day before Packers preseason finale against the Cardinals as a bunch of guys vie to keep their professional lives intact and win jobs.
As the Cardinals picked up, I think three safeties that all played in the UFL last year. You might see a couple of UFL players
big time.
sporting and playing coming up, but it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Big time. So Packers yesterday. I wasn't there. Billy was there with Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Packers, doing the play-by-play from the perch on the last public practice, the last training camp practice per se of training camp proper, because it walked through today a game and then we're into kind of season mode. Cut down day is Sunday. Now, from the coverage, I learned that the Packers' entire mission and one of their mantras this year has been, let's finish games. And they got down to the 2-minute drill and went 0 for 4.
Yeah, in 0 for 4 and 0 for 4 right by the goal line, Drew. The last one was, I think, a 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Cardinals that Gardner Minshew punched in. Packers first team offense got stopped in a goal to go situation. I think they got it down to about the 4. They had a big save and a big pass to Jaden Reed across the middle that converted what would have been a 4th down. And for that to be your overall mantra for the offseason and then that to be your best test of finishing leaves a lot to be desired. But that means that it's just the perfect coach's film. Because in the beginning period, man, Jordan Love was cooking. Him and Christian Watson, 3 quick completions early, hit Matthew Golden a couple of times, deep crosser to Jaden Reed right across the middle where if he breaks one tackle, he's gone. And perfect. Exactly what you think of when you think of Jaden Reed back into the offense to add the explosiveness up the middle. And then really sputtered late. And, credit to the Cardinals for not, cashing it in. And the Packers definitely need to be able to close down deep. Now, they did have the ball into Matthew Golden's hands on one of those 2 minutes, Drew. Wide open back of the end zone. hit the 2 mitts, splits the 0, and it hits the turf. And nobody was more upset about it than Matthew Golden as he walked off to the side, visibly frustrated, smacked the helmet onto the ground, apologized to Jordan Love. Jordan Love was frustrated, but the 2-minute ones are the last thing to remember. So as much as the first impression is always the most important one, that's how you close, especially when you gave up how many fourth quarter leads. So that was frustrating yesterday. Other than that, though, man, Edrin Cooper was impressive throughout the day. We watched their defense, Drew, last year and talked about it. They were kind of banking and planning for him to be the all-pro, go from a good rookie to a all-pro level player. And I think somewhere he stopped around good starter. Yeah. It appears that he's ready to potentially make that next leap.
Boy,
he is primed and ready to roll.
We could use that. I mean, that's no doubt
So,
about it.
because this is like a preseason game, you get some good and bad. Like I saw that Matthew Golden made a really nice catch on about a 45-yard pass, tumbling to the turf, and then dropped the touchdown.
And then dropped the touchdown, yep.
So the good with the bad, right?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, like Brandon Cisse broke up a ball across the middle, had an interception, and then I think he was on the coverage in one of those 2-minute drills on a fade ball right to Marvin Harrison Jr., who went on up and got it. Like that's going to happen in the league, and it's a good baptism by fire. But man, Trey McBride had a number of big catches. Tucker Kraft had a couple of good looks. It's difficult when you got legit double barrel action and you don't have Scott Hansen flipping in between the screens on red zone.
Yeah,
right?
You're
Like
trying to watch both and follow both.
Trying to fully track what's going on with both. So you definitely miss quite a bit. But I mean, it was early on, Packers offense off to our right, Packers defense to our left, and Jordan Love and the first team offense cooking. Every time you look over, Edrin Cooper is seemingly making another play near the backfield. That's when you saw the breakup by Cisse that I mentioned earlier. And it was quick. It felt really, really good. But again, Cardinals didn't have Jeremiah Love, didn't have James Conner. There's guys that are out on both sides. But the Packers' first team offensive line, I did think, held pretty firm for a group that Drew is now finally getting themselves some full run together, as seemingly all five are ready to lock and load.
That's good to see.
And Tucker Kraft provided the chippiness that people wanted, right? If you wanted to see some of that, wasn't he getting into the business of Arizona a little bit?
Wasn't he?
Getting hit, but also making plays and giving the business to Arizona's bench. I think I read about that. I don't know what you saw, Billy.
Yeah, it was hard to see from what exactly happened, but it was in the 2-minute, and safety came down, and again, I think it's the right play. He's trying to keep the clock running, and you know, Tucker makes a catch going near the sidelines, gets hit. Both guys pop up. He's also on the sideline. Like when you get hit into an opposing sideline, you immediately probably have the dukes up. Everyone ran over onto the other side to calm him down. But there wasn't a big melee. It wasn't a massive scrums that you saw throughout. It was a lot more of everybody pushing each other back to try to get to your own side. But yeah, like he was a factor, no doubt about it. And they ended up not being able to convert on that series of downs. So as much as you'd like to say that you want to see something else happen, they got the first down and then were unable to put something else together. So they were good, not great, plenty to still build upon, but good things, especially I think just from that first unit on the offense. You saw Josh Jacobs with a really, really good burst. He looks ready to go. And now you take it in, shower up, and Drew hit a little bit of bubble wrap after probably warm-ups on Friday night. Get into those warm-up clothes, and away we go on cut-down day on Sunday. How quick it is. I heard Goody mentioned it yesterday when he spoke at 10, that they moved the cut-down day up a day and a half almost just because of the Australia game. And he's like, it really forced our hands on a lot of things. He's like, we probably would have liked to have a Saturday preseason game. Couldn't do that with a Sunday mandatory cut-down day because you kind of need to get some medicals and everything back from all the teams and your own doctors. So I think they're all ready to go. One other interesting one was good to see Damani Jackson into some team drills because he has been rather MIA with working himself through injuries and things like that. Number 20, their 6th-round pick over at corner, was running a lot with the twos as Benjamin St. Juste still wasn't really prepared fully to be back at practice yet.
That good recap by Billy there. I'm fired up. Now, Trace Mack, who's been riding a wave, missed a couple kicks. How we feel about that? Were they glaring misses? Were they
So I couldn't see. I was really struggling to be able to see where the kicks ultimately ended up. So I did see a couple wide right. I mostly just heard the audible groan that happened with it. I'm gonna roll with how Cam Achord and LaFleur and all them guys had mentioned it throughout the year. Like, it's gonna be such a different beast kicking out there than it is in a stadium. They did do something different with the kicking game though, Drew, because I think they were kicking into the far end zone. Instead of usually they're kicking right there, smack dab center of the field. So that was a little bit different from what I had noticed yesterday. But I think he went, 3 for 5? He missed a couple, and one was definitely a glaring miss. So a little disappointing, but more than anything, you want to be able to get some full victories. And one Cardinal player compared their 2-minute drill to a Wendy's 4 for 4 meal.
Which doesn't exist anymore. It's the biggie bag, but whatever. I guess he's not in touch with the culture, so that just shows you what the Cardinals.
Armen is in touch with the Wendy's culture.
It is pretty funny though. I mean, if you only won because the guy Yancey thick-pinned it in the end zone, did you really win? I mean, you won if it's really a real game. If your guy drops it, but if you leave a guy wide open and he just drops it, I mean, if they want to celebrate that, that's fine. And the thing with Trace Mack is I'm a lot less worried after seeing him in real games and real stadiums, preseason, but games because. Like you said, Bill, you trust what Cam Achord and you trust what they're trying to work on. And you trust that maybe what you're seeing in the practice field is not like necessarily okay. It's a concern that he missed it. He totally missed it. You never know what they're trying. So the fact is he's kicked well in games and in stadiums, and that's probably what matters more right now. So I'm a lot less concerned after that.
I'm checking out this biggie bag that you're talking about.
Yeah, the biggie
here.
bag. And then there's like 3 levels now, right?
I always thought it was you used to always just get a double stack, the nuggets, the fries, and the drink.
They change it up, man.
Goodness gracious, that double stack biggie bag $6 now.
These menus are changing.
But I'm down. I'm down to clown. The biggie bundle for $8. You throw that big Wendy's juicy cheeseburger in front of you, you're gonna be happy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We were talking about juices dripping earlier on today, Drew.
All the way. Yeah,
those juices are gonna be dripping after you grab yourself one of those junior bacon cheeseburgers.
So I don't know if they're. I don't know if they're
stop at Wendy's.
They're doing. I know, right? Did it to you?
They're
doing 3. You get a little frosty for $1.
Biggie bundle,
guaranteed.
They're doing 3 levels. Man, we should be getting them.
I don't know. I don't know that there's a better shake combo type to scoop with the fries than the Wendy's Frosty.
No, the Frosty's kind of like
superior,
right? Like from that
thing.
Scooping, incomparable to anything.
It's not
else.
a shake. It's not ice cream. They found a way to kind of corner the market on their own unique product with the Frosty, and it's worked forever.
All right,
I don't know if they're trying to with the 3 levels do what Taco Bell's doing with the boxes. It's just interesting to see these menus every now and then when you roll up and you say, "Boy, things have changed." But
I like people judging things on fast food scales.
I do.
It's relatable.
I mean,
yes, right. A lot easier than this. Drew, they're always trying to say, man, he's got a 60 arm. Like, I don't know what that means. If you start telling me he's got a Mighty Kids meal like they used to have at McDonald's, I remember that.
Mighty Kids.
I mean, that means that we're gonna get a double cheeseburger instead of the single.
Because you were grown out of the Happy Meal. I remember the Mighty Kids. The idea was you were grown out. They know how to market these.
Oh yeah,
they
you got a little bit cooler toy, a little bit edgier toy.
Yeah, because you're growing up. It's like you're graduating. You get the Arsenal. I get it.
Love it.
Funny.
All right, so reach out to us if you have thoughts on the Packers. The controlled scrimmage 877-794-1973. Now the Melton family rivalry
started it out. First one, it was awesome.
Yeah, first pass. Who got the best of it?
So first,
the better day.
First play, both teams come up after the Cardinals do their warm up, and there's some of their individual drill in the in Ray Nitschke or in Don Hudson Center. Come back out to Ray Nitschke. And you have a meeting. Both head coaches talk to everybody, and they say, all right, huddle up. And smack dab right in the middle. Jordan Love takes a snap and goes one-on-one slant route. Max Melton against Bo Melton. A quick little shake to the outside, and Bo got the best of his brother Max. But Max had some good run throughout. I do believe he got 1 PBU on Bo. Could have been Sky Moore. But Melton was out there running quite a bit. Max Melton, that being, and Bo, with the first team's offense and defense. So I think they got one more matchup together. But you saw, at least throughout all of camp, Drew, for the folks that were calling us on Packers OT asking why Bo Melton was out there as a wide receiver on 3rd and 8. You won't be out there on 3rd and 8 again.
Yeah,
like he's gonna be out there. He's going to be rotating in heavily. There was no Savion Williams, so it was a part of it. But yes, prepare yourself because it's going to be a part of it.
It's going to happen. Now, did I see I saw that Javon Bullard is back but didn't take part in 11-on-11s. Is that what happened? So he's back but not totally back?
So he was working out right around by us, right? So I don't know if that was technically the rehab group of what you're supposed to say and what you're not supposed to say. Looked all right. Most importantly, the last week and a half, you haven't seen him with a boot on, right? So he's slowly getting there.
Much going to be back. Does he doesn't need to play.
I got to think he's ready for week 1. Yeah. We're still 2.5 weeks away. And he was going through doing some jogging and some, change of direction thing. Did a little weird, eye boxing with Micah when he came out. They were imitating where somebody was hitting them back and forth.
Okay.
So they had some fun. You were having some jokes over there on the sideline, but he looks ready to roll. And Kamal Hadden in his place played well. And that answered one question for me is I think Kamal Hadden's definitely on the team. We were talking about it on Packers OT last week of, is that going to be at the cost of somebody else? I think they may have been counting on Kamal Hadden being a part of it because he immediately walked in to run at that nickel spot with the first team defense and looked really good doing it.
I heard Carl Brooks' name a lot. Is he, because he's a guy that people were saying, well, they could trade Carl Brooks and go with, and maybe get a day 2 or day 3 pick for him and then move on. That doesn't seem like it's in the cards now, does it?
No, I don't think so. They've already eliminated from that position with the Colby Wooden trade, and I think they got better with Franklin being a part of it. Yes, Jonathan Ford looks good. Hargrave brought in. I just don't think they want to make themselves thinner at that spot again. And I also wonder if some of it would be the ghost of last year, right? Because I'm when you get rid of Kenny Clark right before the beginning of the season, it took them a good, 3 or 4 weeks before they figured out anybody to be able to play on the interior. So I think he's definitely going to be a factor of it. Javon Hargrave looks really good too. He's got a legit burst. He's got real speed. And he's 33. So you hope that he's able to continue to play with that throughout the year. But I do think my man Anthony Campbell, once again, Drew, bats down a ball and the eyes go to 60. He's going to be a tough guy to cut. He's a weird case study because he just hasn't played a bunch of football.
He hasn't. And McClellan obviously is having a good camp. Brooks, what about there's the Josh Sweat fantasy too that people had that
it's still out there.
Oh, that's getting hot online again.
Yeah.
Still out there.
I don't know. Fascinating what that position group's going to be. Anything else stand out to you from yesterday? One of the things is I know Goody spoken the Josh Jacobs thing. We're still waiting for a resolution on that. Still
really no
uncertain. Clue. And he still hasn't when are they going to rip that Band-Aid off and have him talk? I guess when they declare
resolution, I think
when he's eligible to play, when we know he's eligible to play.
See, I think he's going to have to talk probably before the first game. The week of Minnesota, I'm guessing he's going to have to be in the locker room for availability. The tough thing is, Armen, I don't know that we're any closer to a resolution, right? And for the NFL, yes, they can levy their punishment before the courts do. Very rarely do they, right? They absolutely can. They generally choose not to. So I think this is going to hang out there for a while, and otherwise you're going to soon be subjecting him to some fines once the season rolls around if they start requesting him in the locker room. So I do think he probably makes himself available before the first, because the last thing you want to do is you finish the game in Minnesota and then he's got to answer for 7 to 8 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's not good. I would think you'd want to do it the week before.
Oh, in this little bye week time?
Yeah.
That's fair. That might be even better.
When it starts game week, but then we don't know what we don't know as far as the wheels of justice grinding, right? So what is going to happen? And could he not be charged by the local authorities and then get sanctioned by the NFL anyway?
Again, very much could. Rarely does that happen, right? The league doesn't do that a whole lot. I also think the other part of it is you've seen the NFL start handing down some judgments. I don't know that they're going to come on out and say Josh Jacobs isn't going to be suspended. It would definitely help us all if they did. Or maybe Schefter will have it, pinned into his ear that he's able to report it on a show. But they had a big wave. What was that? A week and a half ago? There were 4 or 5 different guys that got suspended. Yeah. James Pierce was one of them with Atlanta. He had some heinous allegations against him. I think, again, this is pure speculation. This is a dangerous thing to start doing. I think if he was going to get suspended without a charge, he would have by now.
Okay.
Right. But But if indeed something happens differently from the Hobart Police Department, then I think it becomes a lot different conversation.
I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't have a feel for it either way. But if you ask me, like, what do you think's going to happen? I'm like, I think he's just going to play. And like,
I think he's going to.
Yeah.
I think the whole situation, Drew, gets fully resolved when he's on another team. Like, I think this whole thing takes a lot longer than we like to admit. Maybe they only learn from the NCAA's court cases.
Wow, really? Okay.
But I think because his contract basically slates up for this to be the last year of his deal.
But you think we won't hear about it until the end of the year? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it takes a while.
Okay.
I think it takes a while. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe within the next hour something comes out. But just like the Micah Parsons return table that we got asked about a lot yesterday from fans of, so week 6, Dallas, that's going to happen, right? I'm a little bit more reserved on my belief that it's happening sooner rather than later. I think that's going to push back a little bit longer.
Fantastic. When we come back, it's halftime already. Scott Dolphin's going to pop in. I got a couple of headlines I want to throw at Dolph. A couple of things that made me happy yesterday in sports, believe it or not. My Grinch-like heart expanded by a few sizes.
Let's go.
You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Sports Grinchmas.
Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Halftime of our program means a visit from our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin from the country station on the Hull, FM 106.1. Hello, Dolph.
Hi, Drew. Boys, what's happening?
Well,
we just got a lot better in here.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, stop
it. There were a couple stories yesterday that I wanted to bounce off you that warmed my cockles as a sports observer. And Billy was laughing. Billy couldn't wait to hear this.
I say, holy Grinch, let's go. Come on now. Come on.
One of them is the announcement. They were both announced yesterday. Smaller stories, not as big as the Brewers' 8-1 victory or the Packers' controlled scrimmage with the Cardinals.
Or the Packers' rivalry uniforms.
And the LaFleur, or the rivalry uniforms, which we'll talk about.
I learned 2 new colors yesterday.
But got the announcement that ESPN is getting rid of the bottom line ticker at the bottom of their college football broadcasts.
What?
That's bizarre.
ESPN is getting rid of the bottom line score ticker during college football broadcasts this coming season.
Is it just because the screen has gotten too busy over the years?
That's basically it. They want to streamline the college football viewer experience for fans and will remove the ticker from all broadcasts of the sport across different channels.
Well, we're on our phones so much, I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
Remember the days where we used to yearn for scores?
We did.
You needed scores. Like you got them once every quarter and you were like, whatever it was. I mean, this is way, way back. Then the real ticker started in the 90s underneath the scroll. And then like that McDonald's game break. And it's just hard to believe. Because once upon a time, they wouldn't put any score bugs on the screen. Some networks in the 90s when Fox started doing the Fox box because they thought viewers would be too distracted. And now I guess we've come full circle 30 years later.
Are we all old enough to remember when you didn't even get the little box with the running score?
Absolutely. We remember that.
Blows my mind.
We remember
when all of a
days.
sudden you see it when you see it on the play right before, just glimpse up and then fade back out. 3rd and 6.
For the most part,
that was NBC.
Wasn't it mostly wallpaper though? It was like, okay, so
So they're
Southwest
not getting
Louisiana is beating McNeese State right now.
So we're not getting it right. We're still getting it during all their other programming where they'll roll through scores.
Yeah, but not live games.
Just not during live games.
But occasionally, if there's an upset alert. But I was wondering if it was that. Well, I think it's twofold. That first, people have it on in their palm.
Yeah,
got the entire world.
I guess
in your
now
palm.
we do. Yeah,
and everybody's got a second screen up anyway. But it was screen clutter, and if there's an upset, if ESPN's broadcasting a game and there's an upset brewing on CBS and they show the score, doesn't that make people want to flip
very true.
over?
Good point. Yeah, very true. That definitely makes sense.
I get that part of it, right? But it's like that used to be. And so I heard some squawking about it, but for the most part, I like the cleaner experience.
I do too.
I can watch, you can multitask by having your phone or a second screen in your hand and watch the game.
Because immediately I want to be upset about it, right? Like immediately I'm like, why are you taking away my opportunity to know if Clemson is covering the 5.5 at the moment? But if I am betting on it, I'm definitely watching it on the second screen or on my phone.
Or on the phone anyway.
Or I'm tracking it some way. So that just won't be a problem. And it definitely is better. Again, I'm thinking through this. It adds just a little bit more room on my quad box on YouTube TV when I'm watching it. So there's probably going to be a better experience.
I think people are splitting up their screen more and it gets smaller and smaller.
No.
I'm going to be the old guy to say I don't like having to open my phone. I want to see the score in front of my face.
That's
on the bottom
interesting.
ticker. I'm that guy, I guess. So I don't know.
Because it's interesting because there's some rumblings that this is a bad thing for people who gamble and stuff like that. But there's also there's okay, boomer or grandpa, just get your phone. What do you need that for? And if you look up and you miss it, you're going to go to your phone anyway. If you miss the score you're looking at.
Well, and that was, I definitely did it yesterday. I missed the Bryce Terang home run as I was sitting there scrolling and watching some random score track through on my phone to see what the White Sox game was doing. If Jack Peterson had actually hit a homer and then, so I'm guilty of it as much as anybody. I really want to be upset about it, but I do think I'm going to like it.
I'm going to like it as well. There's certain things I would say, no way. No, I would really miss the yellow first down line.
Oh yeah,
we'd have some serious problems.
Can't go back.
That's become a crutch. The Fox box or whatever they call it now in baseball. You can tell before the catcher challenges if it's going to be a ball or strike. What do they call it?
100%.
There's the score button.
No, he's not talking about the score button. He's talking about the K zone.
The K zone.
He's talking about the strike zone.
They used to call it the Fox box.
Yep, because Fox was the first one to be able to pop it up.
Okay,
and I also think we've seen it a little bit now in year number 2 of the virtual measurement. We got to spice this up a little bit. We got to add some drama to the virtual measurement that they're doing in the NFL because now you see the arrow as to where it's pointing to, because that was some of the best drama is watching some 70-year-old guys trot out to the far side of the field to be able to measure that thing out.
And I love those jobs haven't been eliminated yet.
We still have them, yes.
Those guys are still there.
Oh, yeah.
The chain gang is still around. You just don't see them as much anymore.
Now, I am, media starts with me, Drew. I am a little bit nervous because they moved around our configuration at Lambeau Field. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get their leftover snacks out of that chain gang.
Oh, that's right.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There was always at least a few, Nature Valley bars sitting there right at the end that would help us get through that third hour of Packers OT every once in a while. That's one of my jobs that I've always dreamed of having, is being on a college or NFL chain gang. Because you do that in high school, you volunteer on that in high school, you get to hear some of the darndest.
Oh, yeah.
That is just one of the best times on the opposing side.
I think I told you guys one of the 1,000 jobs I had in my life. I was the orange mitt guy, the orange sleeves. I did that for 3 years at Soldier Field. And you can't imagine that. Yeah, stand on the 25-yard line. Yeah, I still have them. I still have my orange sleeves.
That is one of the coolest jobs. Oh.
It was fun. It just made for such an incredibly long day. And when we started having kids, I mean, you're gone. I mean, for a noon game, I had to be there at 8:30 on a Sunday morning. And you're there with the production meeting well after the game is over. For like $150. I don't know what they get paid.
Because
now.
You end up being one of the most important people on the broadcast.
Definitely.
Yeah, you are.
You really are.
There's a lot of responsibility there. And I
better not miss a command.
I hope it's still not this way. But back in the day, you had to try to spot flags. Well, when you're on field level, it is damn hard to spot flags at live action. Yeah. And one day, this was a national, it was a Cimarron Madden game back in the 90s. Where they said, any flags? And I said, nope, on my headset. And there was a flag. And they started cutting to a commercial. And they had to bail out of that Chevy commercial and come back for the punt.
No, that's the worst.
That was on me. And I thought I was done. And I'll never forget the assistant director afterwards put his arm around me. Don't worry about it. It happens all the time. I'm like,
I love that.
Okay.
All right.
It's all right. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm going to go crack a cold one. I'll feel a lot better.
What a load off. Because you're probably
feeling.
nervous about, I know that feeling. You don't want to have to cut out a commercial.
Yeah. But so you're doing TV, and then you're also for the radio. You got hand signals that you're doing for them too. So during the radio timeout, the arm was behind the back. I don't know if it's still like this. You'd ask the white hat or he'd ask you if you want one, and you'd say I'm asking, or you'd give him a thumbs up, and then there's all little.
I had no idea you did that.
Line judge would come over.
You're on the
game within the game.
Field judge would come over and stand with you in the green hat and hit that stopwatch, and you had 1 minute and 50 seconds. To get back because he's putting that ball back in play.
Nothing better than all of a sudden
the
Mitz goes and puts the X up. You know that you're going to commercial. All right, sweet. I'm going to run to the back.
Were you on the headset
or you're
with
doing this. You're not going to commercial.
The director in the truck, or we're on the headset with Madden and Summerall?
No, just the director in the truck.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah, you
had
the
guys off mic. Yeah,
that's pretty good
director
stuff.
in the truck.
I knew a guy that was in charge of like wrangling cords back when they had the long cords, and he was on the sideline wrangling coaches' cords for the headsets, and he had something to do with the headsets. And he's standing on the sideline chilling, and all of a sudden he sees Tom Brady, because the Packers were playing the Patriots at Lambeau, and Tom Brady was taking a knee by the bench right by him. And he looked and he's like, I'm standing there. I'm like, that's Tom Brady. That's really wild. And then he sees a puddle forming by his feet. It's like, Tom Brady's peeing right next to me.
Oh, my God.
Tom
peeing right here.
Discreetly hung. He took a knee, leaning on his helmet, and he discreetly peed on the sideline.
Oh, my
God. It's amazing how good
guys
you can
do
get
that all the time.
Yeah. That was the original blue tent. The real reason for the blue tent at first was the bathroom that would happen to be out there.
I tell you, I never experienced that in my 3 years on the sideline. It was cool though, because players would try to find out where you were, because they like anybody else wants to know when they're going to get a break.
Yeah.
And they'd be out jogging early before the game. Junior Seau, I remember coming over and saying hello one time, saying, "You going to be right here on the 25-yard line?
You going to be right here?"
Yeah, it was amazing.
Right here?
Hey, buddy, you going to be right here?
Yes.
And I forgot, all these memories are coming back. At 10:30 before a noon game, you had to go in with the green hat and the tech guy, and they would get the umpire or the head official mic'd up, and they test everything. And so you go into these cramped little locker rooms at Soldier Field, and Ed Hockelai would be running around in skin tight
football skivvies,
just firing out his pregame
guns everywhere,
and
and you'd have
rip out a quick 100 before golf came in to make sure that it was veined out.
That was awesome.
Gotta love it.
All right, so the ticker was one thing that wore my cockles. The other was the announcement that they tried to slip through, and people weren't going to notice. No more Pro Bowl games.
Oh, so well done.
Oh my God.
Thank God. My boycott finally worked. I'd never watched that crap. I mean, other than I went to the one in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We took some listeners to Vegas. They're really cool dudes that we got to hang out with.
I'll tell you
Jim.
the little skills competition with the players actually being like no helmets, hanging out, laughing, and like having more fun. That ended up being a lot better because you could actually hear some of them. But that would be much better in May. That'd be like that is a full on off season activity at that point. And like Peter O'Reilly, vice president or executive vice president in the NFL, it's okay to be the first league to walk away from a competitive all-star game. Brother, you walked away from that years ago.
I was going to say, it's been that ship sailed. So I'm glad they
that part's gone for a while.
They tried what they could to put the paddles to it and keep sucking life and sponsor dollars out of the broadcast. But it was bad TV. It was a bad live event. It just wasn't good. It wasn't compelling.
And guys don't want to play, and that's what it comes down to.
So they're going to just name.
They're not going to do it.
They're just going to name the 88 Pro Bowlers, and then that's it. It will give you your
high five, handshake.
Clap, and you're a Pro Bowler.
And then also it'll probably mean more when it comes down to contracts, because as much as we all say, well, that doesn't matter anymore. The Pro Bowl doesn't matter anymore. They doesn't matter anymore until they stop putting in contract incentives, right? And it still is in a lot of different incentives for Pro Bowls and stuff like that. So they have to be able to name it. But I do like the fact that there's something like, fellas, we're the NFL. All right, the Super Bowl's coming up. We're not going to make a mockery on a Tuesday night anymore.
It was always just behind the eight ball anyway, because you didn't want to get anybody hurt. You couldn't have it in the season like every other major sport does. You couldn't have it before the Super Bowl. I lost interest decades ago. Probably when I was a kid, when it was still at Aloha Stadium.
Yeah, after Hawaii, I think that's when a lot of
they wore the red and the blue unis with their own helmet.
It was pretty awesome.
And those guys didn't get paid. So that was a big deal. If you went to the Pro Bowl, what did it pay?
Vacation for Hawaii for their family.
It paid $30,000 to win and $15,000 to lose, and they actually had some incentive, and it was actually fun. It wasn't the ridiculousness that it became.
Yeah.
Well, and the other part,
gone.
The camaraderie around the team or around like the league, I appreciated it. Of like, it's cool still to get the best players all together and like hanging out and talking shop. Now they all do that in the offseason. Right, all of the top offensive linemen go to one summit. There's the pass rush summit, tight end university.
Tight end U.
All of them have their own little spot where they end up still being able to share shop secrets and all get better. Like that part of it, the fun little football side of being able to hang around a keg and chop it up with some of the best players in the league. They all do that now just in the offseason.
Can you imagine before we were around, although I've heard stories, the college all-star team used to play was it the Super Bowl champion?
The Super Bowl champions at Soldier Field.
That is nuts.
Yep.
All those games were important because it was like the rare times that scouts and GMs would look at players back then. You didn't have a lot of. But hey, if you still want to hold on to those nostalgic pieces, Mitchell and Ness just put the Reggie White Pro Bowl jersey on sale. So if anyone's out there, that's your tip from Armen today.
All right.
With the blue star stripe thing in the side of the shoulder and everything like that.
Mitchell Ness.
The Chicago Charities College All-Star Game, the annual preseason match played from 1934 to 1976 between the top college seniors and the reigning NFL champions.
I didn't even know it went till 76. I was around then.
I remember. The only reason I remember it is because I dated a girl in college from Illinois, and every single time I went and I talked to her dad, somehow that conversation. Every single time, they call it Soldiers Field.
Soldiers Field.
Yeah, I used to play a college all-star game there every year. The best team of college players, all of them, all the best college players, right here, right in one spot. They're playing the Super Bowl champions, right there. That game was what everybody actually wanted to see.
And
is there documentation on these games? Because obviously the 66 and 67 Packers played in those games.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I've heard or seen anything about it.
There's a lot of talk about. In Jerry Kramer's book, he talked about.
Really?
Yeah, them playing. Lombardi didn't want to lose to the college kids.
You know what? I guess I got caught. I thought I read all of it. Replay. I guess I didn't.
And this is the same era when the Bears and Packers would play, if not two preseason games too, and they'd always play one in Milwaukee.
Right?
Wasn't that like a big charity game?
Bishop's Charities game.
Yeah.
Shrine game.
The Shriners, yeah, Billy. I guess I got on that.
Here's the other thing: like that college all-star game went away in '76.
That's what Billy said. Yeah.
From 70 to 77, they played 6 preseason games.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
you were in the college all-star game. That was one of your preseason games, but they played 14 regular season games and 6 preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 78, they cut it to 4 when they expanded to 16 games.
Well, and I mean also like that's when they were doing 2.5 months of training camp.
Guys need to get back.
I mean,
in shape.
that was a good 2.5 months of
yeah.
training camp to get in shape, basically, until you started the season.
Because the offseason was second job season.
Yeah, that's just it.
I mean, you had to get in shape because you were, they always say driving a beer truck, but whatever the job was.
Yeah, that's in Jerry Kramer's book, too.
Yeah, I remember that part. All right, that book.
Work.
But they'd always had to work second jobs. So times have changed, obviously.
In the 60s, it was like you could play 4 or 5, and like teams that needed a lot of money would have the extra game and try to,
try to grab as many of them as possible.
As you could, yeah.
It's grown a little bit.
Because they went from 12 to 14 games. So it's been metastasizing for a while. But
sports fans were more interested in quote unquote games that didn't matter, right?
You think about it, though, and those guys all played in every preseason game. Mm-hmm. So you're playing 6 preseason and 14. That was 20-game season.
Full 20-game season.
And they were playing in the preseason like it mattered.
I was going to say they were playing at the least a half into one of those things. They were running it.
They had the taxi squad, as they called it back then, too.
Right. The taxi squad.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I love that. So we've got no ticker on the bottom line because it got to the point with the draft where I get overwhelmed with the draft coverage because there's so many tickers going on and who's on the clock and the stuff spinning. Like, man, it gives me like a seizure.
I'll say this, and I assume it was ESPN that started it. The game changer in non-games is that box that drops down to tell you what story they're going to cover.
PTI line,
freaking great. I mean, you see it on SportsCenter now too, and we've adopted that in radio with coming up in 6 minutes and coming up in 100%.
The last couple nights as I've been ready to fire up the grill, the Blackstone, ABC Nightly News. They basically do that PTI thing. They tell you everything they're going to talk about in the show, and they give you 15 seconds on it. It's like, then why do you need the story?
They tell you the shot clock and what they have on there. Oh my
20 minutes later, they're doing the story that they already told me. Basically, they spend so much time on the teases that they barely have time for the news.
They actually tell you the stories.
Exactly.
So ass backwards, and that's where we are as a society. That
Right.
you can't watch a show and not be distracted. You have to know, we're giving you the TikTok headlines.
I only have 4 minutes of attention. You let me know exactly when to pay attention.
So in the first 4 minutes, they tell you everything they're going to talk about in the next 22.
Okay, hold on one second.
It's
all right, sweet. Call me in 7.
It could backfire too. You could say, nope, I'm out. I'm not interested in those stories.
It's bizarre.
Now we have to watch our phones. We can't watch TV for scores.
That's right.
That's just the way.
But I did love that. We're the first league to get rid of the competitive All-Star game. You did that years ago.
I was going to say you did that when Jeff Saturday went and snapped for Peyton Manning.
Hey, Watt called you out at one point, and come on. It's like they haven't tried in that game in forever.
If somebody asked me what's the greatest moment in Pro Bowl history, I couldn't come up with one thing.
Our idiot kicker getting liquored up. That Peyton Manning interview was my favorite. Isn't that? Was the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I still no. We all know that one. It's Sean Taylor.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's Sean Taylor splitting the punter in half.
Yeah,
there for
right.
the Buffalo Bills
Okay.
on the fake punt. That'll definitely be it. And then that was when the competitive All-Star game vanished very quickly. After that poor guy's soul left his body right there on the far right sideline.
Dolph, thanks for the run today.
All right, fellas. See you tomorrow.
As always. Yes, indeed. Halftime is over. We plow forward. Who's hot? Who's not? Hero of the day, Hunter Baumgardt, going to join the program, talk Brewers at 7:25. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
lot of it.
Brian Mormon is going to fake it on the run, and he's going to come up short. Sean Taylor. Phil, you talked in the first half. Remember Reggie Wayne got out of Sean Taylor. Brian Mormon going back out onto the field, and that is why. Congratulated Sean Taylor.
Emotional damage from Pro Bowls gone by. Armen Sarian going into his rabbit hole. That's why your algorithm's all screwed up, man.
Well,
it's watching old sports clips.
That and I just got sucked down a rabbit hole of bull riding yesterday.
Oh yes,
my For You page is just the most impressive bucking and tossing you've ever seen in your entire life.
You know what I like about bull riding highlights? Because that's happened to me. They don't take very long. You can just pop to the next
very
one.
quick.
You know
Very
what I
quick.
mean?
Yep.
I'm not that invested. It's like a horse race. You can watch old horse races. I'm like, all right, a couple.
I didn't
minutes.
realize they grade the bull too.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that.
The bull gets a score, and the rider gets a score, and then it's combined, and then that's how it ultimately rolls up. It's a fascinating rabbit hole that I got dragged down, and I will tell you this: I might be digging in more to it because that when you start doing that kind of scoring system, and give some credit to the real athlete in there. The 2-ton bull that's just tossing people up and down, jumping 4 or 5 feet up in the air. Yeah, that's one that I can celebrate.
How about the guys that got to calm the bull down once it's over? That's not easy.
Not
either.
a job I'd want to sign up
That is
for.
not easy. Those guys should get some credit.
I would pass on that as well. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Billy, who's hot?
Who's hot would be, well, let's be honest. Eduardo Rodriguez was pretty dang hot yesterday. Now, may have gotten away with a beautiful balk hurt around the world, but he went 7 innings, gave up just 2 hits. As Pete Crow Armstrong very appropriately said, shoved it down their throat. 7 innings of shutout baseball, and the Diamondbacks beat the Cubs 2-0. Also hot, the Phillies out in Seattle. They get homers from Schwarber and Harper, win 6 goose over the Mariners. But the NL East, they don't gain any ground because a walk-off again last night in the ATL. Hot are the Atlanta Braves after their Little League victory against the Crew. They've won 2 against Big Blue and the Dodgers. Roki Sasaki leaves in the 4th inning with a little bit of a finger issue. He had already given up 4 earnings in those 4 innings of work. And don't look now. We've keeping track. It's one of our favorite races to keep. Dodgers and Braves racing for the 2 seed. Brewers ahead of both of them, but slowly now just a 2-game advantage for LA over Atlanta, and they get one more today, a 6:15 first pitch down in ATL. Shutout once again are the Pittsburgh Pirates. They not hot as they lose to the San Diego Padres yesterday. Tough scene for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who bought at the deadline and then just slid right down the back of the dinosaur. But nothing was worse, Drew, for one home team yesterday. The San Francisco, don't call me the New York Giants. Oh boy. After a booming blast into the gap in center, plated 3 runs, cleared the bases in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Giants led it 9-3 at the beautiful Oracle Park. And then the 9th inning happened. Started with a solo shot, then a walk, then 2 wild pitches, another 2 walks, an Eugenio Suarez grand slam. It's 9-8. Then an infield single, a bunt single, a sac fly, a single. And all of a sudden, it's a 10-9 Reds victory with 7 in the 9th inning as they beat the Giants yesterday. And the G-men go to 31-34 at home. That's a tough L.
I don't think the Giants had ever lost a game with that big a lead.
Oh, my goodness. And, Drew, it looked even worse than it sounds.
That's wild.
Who's hot? Potentially Eugenio Suarez, available on waivers right now.
And TJ Friedl.
And TJ Friedl just hit waivers. Let's see. Go get that big bat.
Yeah, go get him. Could happen. All right. Hunter Baumgardt joins us at 7:25. We'll have our current electric superhero and more for you next. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. A nice bounce-back win for the Brewers.
High fly, deep into right. Back is Benj. See ya. A 3-run bomb for Bryce Terang. It's his first in the month of August. So much for not hitting home runs. That was a big blast. 7-0 Brew Crew.
Jeff Levering on the call. The Brewers beat the Mets 8-1 at Citi Field. The rubber game of the series is tonight starting at 6:10. Jacob Mizorowski will pitch against Sean Manaea. Packers training camp practices are over. Just a Thursday walkthrough and Friday preseason finale are all that's left before the initial 53-man roster is made. Ahead of Wednesday's joint practice with the Cardinals, general manager Brian Gutekunst was asked about Tucker Kraft's looming extension. The GM saying, quote, "We would love to have that done. Whether we're able to accomplish that before the season begins, we'll see," end quote. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all it's going to down to. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Thursday edition rolling along for you from headquarters. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, now on Facebook as Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
Hey,
deal, yeah.
let's go. Thanks, Zuck.
Yes, that's
Took a
finally
while.
got changed.
About damn time.
Posts
Well,
from
it's hard.
97.3 The Game.
It's hard to get anybody at these social media companies
believe
to help
it.
you out.
Believe
as
it,
I
it's
know.
rough. You
as
know.
I know. By the
You
way,
know.
you can follow me at Armen Sarian still, my new Twitter account.
Yep.
Still.
Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you from headquarters, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, worldwide on the iHeartRadio app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and the YouTubes. We're having some fun today. Talking about a Brewers victory, 8-1, talking about Packers practice against the always hated but never feared Arizona Cardinals, who they will play Friday night at Lambeau Field in the preseason finale. Cut down day in the NFL is Sunday. Packers got to get to 53. We'll do that dance where we agonize and say, no way, that guy's getting through waivers. And then he'll get through waivers and go to the practice squad.
Drew, I'm excited to start stressing about Mark Perry being released on Friday
Life will
night.
go on.
I'm very excited about
especially
that.
guys who have a big game on Saturday and it doesn't matter because they're going to get cut and then put on the practice squad.
Right. Will Shepard goes out and catches 2 touchdowns on Friday night. We are going to be very fired up about how on earth are you going to cut this guy potentially here?
The Stillers, whom the Packers saw a couple weeks ago. It seems like 2 months ago the Packers played, with McCarthy and Rodgers, the reunion. There's talk that McCarthy's tempted to keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster.
That's
like,
crazy.
What are you talking about? Come on. He's never done that. And that won't happen. But like their preseason, I think they play tonight.
That sounds right. Yes, I saw the whole. I saw the whole
Allard
layout.
and Allard going to be split in time, and they're talking about maybe they'll keep it. No, they're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
There's just no chance. It just doesn't make any sense. And if you really firmly believe that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play 17 games, but then, still, like you still need to field a 53-man roster, and you got to have 5 or 6 wide receivers. Like you just can't make it up on this type of roster.
It's still the number 1 position, and so there's the bottom of the roster controversy. Packers are pretty much buttoned up. Kyle McCord is going to be the 3 guy, and
he'll be right.
Tyrod Taylor. A lot of folks are saying they should trade Tyrod Taylor. Some team might want him.
some team that might be trying to win their division and go win games in the playoffs, kind of like the Packers are trying to do.
Exactly.
McCord's going to get through waivers. He'll be fine. He'll come right back out of the practice squad, and he'll be a beautiful break glass in case of emergency. I thought the interesting one, Drew, was yesterday when Goody was talking pre-practice and asked about Pierre Strong, who, we definitely gushed about after that Broncos game.
Yeah.
Kick return looked good on the offensive side. He could have a big game, and he also might get cut because he had just mentioned it. The game day elevation is a weapon. Being able to elevate guys 3 times before you have to put them on the active roster, that means they're going to be utilizing that coming up pretty soon.
Big time. Interesting quarterback talk, though, because they went through it in Cleveland and they landed on Deshaun Watson to the chagrin of many.
Many, yes.
And like they have their first 2 games on the road for him to get things ironed out before he has to play in the dog pound. And if things aren't going well,
that'll be a hotbed.
They'll bring in pitchforks and torches. The other interesting one is Tua, because Michael Penix has returned to practice, and there are folks who think he should start. That Tua just doesn't look invested in it right now, and just not having a great camp. And like, how can they just hand him the keys when Penix is there anyway? And if Penix is even ready, even though he hasn't had much of a camp, he's just gotten to where he's doing 11-on-11 stuff. So how does that end up going? Or do they just cut Tua because they have no money tied up in him and it'll be no cap hit? You just cut him.
And that's the thing, Drew. Like, you very much could just cut him, and you wouldn't lose anything. That being said, you could also cut him in week 4 when, Penix is fully ready if you want to give him some more of a buildup. The tough thing is they have like the most injured quarterback room of all time.
Yes.
Penix is coming off of, I think, his 3rd ACL.
Yeah, he's been banged up early in his career.
And Tua's dropping snaps, like you can clearly tell he's nervous about getting hit.
That's just part of his career.
If indeed they get rid of Tua, listen, they could have Cooper Rush start games. It's not like any NFL team hasn't done that before.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, well, why keep Tua if Cooper Rush is just as good, or this guy Jack Strand, the undrafted
Minnesota Moorhead, who's dicing it up.
He's playing well. It's like, well,
also
Tua would count like $1.5 million if they cut him. Like, that's what his salary. So it's like nothing.
It's also like the burden of like, if Tua gets hit again and you have more issues with the concussions, like it's a heavy burden to be around that and be the team that's got to deal with it. And he just signed him and all that stuff.
From all the insiders and my boy, D. Orlando.
Yes.
People, they just say that he just doesn't look like he's loving football right now.
I was going to say, and that seems like what Bowtie Sports had mentioned a number of different times. He's like, you just tell you can't, the investment isn't the same necessarily.
Does he want it? So do they have to put and you got 2 weeks before
well, I'll tell you, I am
get the keys and they move on from Tua, because it seems to me like Tua either starts week 1 or you cut him. Like the idea of having him back up doesn't seem like it's like shrewd.
Just like, and this is where I would defend the Browns' thought process a little bit. Like, you already have to pay the money for Deshaun, right? One's not a minute. That's not $1.5 million that you're writing off the books.
Sunk cost.
And at that point, you're paying it. You're going to lose the starter if you don't play him right away, or the veteran if you don't play him right away. There's no problem with going out, seeing if you can catch lightning in a bottle. You can always go back to the young guy. My man Jack Strand, though, Jack from Bloomer, Wisconsin zone. I'll be pulling for him to potentially get the gig, because if you're Matt Ryan and company there in Atlanta, you have nothing tied to any of these guys. You got $1.5 million to Tua.
Nothing.
You've got like the final year of Penix when he expires here.
Yeah.
And then you go into your draft next year where Matt Ryan can go and finally find his new Matty Ice in a quarterback rich draft. Like, it's a weird spot because I think their roster is better than that, but their best plan of action might just be to be looking towards 27.
If this situation were happening under last year's circumstances, would they be calling and saying, hey, what would it take for us to get Malik Willis from you, Green Bay? Because that makes me wonder, would someone say Tyrod Taylor's an upgrade over what we're running out here? He
would be an upgrade over a couple of different spots, right? Different because I think with Willis, you took the lottery ticket of, what was he, 27 last year? Like, that is
peak of his athleticism.
He would have had, with at least a couple of these teams, the intriguing thought of, we could bring him in right now, and at some point he could play for us very soon. And we will feel a lot better than whatever our room is right now. Maybe that would happen in Atlanta. if they really think that they can go win the division, which again, I think they probably did before the Pierce suspension.
Yeah.
Their other pass rusher, Jalen Walker, tore his ACL in camp right away.
Because the South isn't like anything crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Panthers won it at 8-9 a year ago.
Exactly. So that's the thing about it. It's sort of like the AL West.
And I think the Falcons won 3 of their last 4 games last year and then fired their coach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they closed well, looked like they were maybe going to save Raheem Morris's job. They won their last 4 games. It almost looked like they were going to save his job. And then they're like, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We're still changing this up.
Is there any sense that they still feel like a pot committal with Penix because they drafted him so early, or is that gone when Fontenot's gone? Like, is that the old regime and they don't feel that way?
See, Armen, and it's hard to say because there's only one person's opinion that probably really matters.
Matt Ryan?
No.
Oh.
Arthur Blank.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right? I mean, he was the one that Terry Fontenot was trying to explain it to there after he gave Kirk Cousins to $100 million, and then you go and sign this guy. I don't know what we're doing here, but try to make it make some sense to me. And if he believes that they're going to roll with it, Jimmy Haslam mentioned it that it ends with D&I. So Arthur Blank might say it ends with me. Now, I don't know. Did Jimmy mess that up when he was talking about the Deshaun Watson deal? That he said it ends with me? Doesn't it start with you potentially?
You would think,
But you know what? The buck stops here. And also throws his wife under the bus, which I don't think was necessarily needed. But
not shrewd.
You're going to see a couple of different teams that are trying to make sense of it because Minnesota's in the same boat. Florio floated it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like Carson Wentz is a better player. You already gave the starting job to Kyler Murray. What's this J.J. McCarthy doing here?
You're just trying to still make it work. Just trying to hang around and hope that this car eventually will start in the garage.
And he threw it out there that, maybe next week by Sunday, he's either traded or cut. And if you're another team and Kevin O'Connell doesn't think that he can fix you, I don't have a whole lot of great belief in my operation to be able to make it work.
That's the thing. If you get turned down there, like, oof, yikes.
That's a tough sell to anybody. So there's going to be a number of guys, I think, Drew, over the weekend that end up getting moved, and there will be a couple of Malik Willis-like trades. Right? Because what did the Packers give up? A 7th-round pick?
Yeah.
7th-round pick?
7th round, yeah.
And with the amount of picks teams have in this draft, almost everybody has all of their picks in this draft. That was one of the unique parts of the 26 draft that we just watched in April. 6th and 7th round, people are trading. Hey, I'll give you a 27 5th for this 6th rounder so I can take this guy. I'll give you this 7th rounder so I can go in here. Nobody was doing that. A lot of it was because they thought the talent was going to be so good coming up in this upcoming draft. And also it gives teams a lot more ammunition to go out and ship off a 6th rounder. If you think that at some point, you know what? Hey, we took Penix at 8, but we maybe McCarthy at 11 was the right choice. We'll bring him in and see. I do believe he's going to get a shot somewhere, but I would not be surprised at all if he doesn't play another down in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think you're onto something.
Those are the 3 most intriguing ones, right? Like the Minnesota one is going to be fascinating to see how he actually plays. Kyler being that, but otherwise, there's not a whole lot of. Not to say there's not jobs available, but like Anthony Richardson's another name that would be a fascinating one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Last year, there was some smoke that he could possibly get moved. Daniel Jones is coming off of the Achilles, but he's hitting home runs at that Tyrese Halliburton, Daniel Jones softball game. So I think he's okay.
That's a big step.
I think he's okay. I think he's ready to play week 1. So I don't know if Anthony Richardson would be available. Quarterback spot's going to be up for. There could be a number of different guys that could change teams coming up here in the next week. And I do wonder if there's more teams that trade after deadline or cut down day than before. We always think that 53-man roster means you're safe. And it might just mean that you're ammunition to be going and flipping to somebody else's squad at that point.
Well, and Wayne told us he expects surprises on cut down day. So
there you go.
I'm curious to see what some of that is. But I guess that's the fun of this year. We'll never forget the Josh Sitton day. Right?
Yeah.
Was that the
day?
That was the day.
Yeah, the LSU.
I was going to say LSU Wisconsin game.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's right. That's right.
All right. 877-794-1973. NicolaLaw.com talking text line. Time for a little Current Electric superhero of the day presented by our friends at Current Electric. Call current.com, the website. Fantastic dudes with superheroes on the side of the van, superheroes who work for them. Check them out. Good people. Met them, hung out with our friends in Green Bay.
Phenomenal people.
Cool.
Phenomenal folks.
So check them out. Billy, who's our superhero of the day?
I got a couple of nominations. One is kicker for high school, Gainesville, Georgia High School, Dwayne Carter, son of rapper Lil Wayne, Dwayne Carter. President Carter.
How about that?
He boots 2 field goals through against the number 1 team in the country, Buford High School down in Georgia. This looks like the best college stadium in Division II that I've ever seen that they're playing this high school game at. That would be a possibility for it. The other possibility would be Connor Sanger, who former Wisconsin Badger, former Oshkosh Titan, still passing game coordinator, passing game specialist with the Arizona Cardinals. He was in town yesterday. 5th season with the Cardinals, who he was a scout team player of the year for the University of Wisconsin, then transferred to Oshkosh. Connor grew up in the West Dallas area, one of the great dudes of all time. Coached at Whitewater, coached at Carroll, and now ultimately is coaching in the NFL. And he's one of the absolute goods. We love being able to say that. The other one, Drew, that I would say, and I would love to know how you guys feel about the potential of this guy being named a superhero of the day. Can we give it to Roger Goodell for finally laying the hammer down and just getting rid of the Pro Bowl?
I mean, yeah,
there.
I guess.
I mean, Troy Vincent was a part of it. I don't know if it's just him. I am glad that we're just finally putting it out to pasture. Take it out back and be done with the entire thing, because we've had so many since 2020 with the pandemic. It's been even more thrown around in a weirder spot. I appreciate that they're finally saying the jig is up. We understand it's awful. We're going to be done with it. Let's put it to bed, and we're all okay with it.
I'm glad that they just. It almost felt like, we're just, dice in some spam and then throw it at them and they'll eat it. It's like, come on. It's like, that wasn't, I'm glad that they finally admitted that there's a limit.
Not worth our time.
There's a limit.
They just
accepted what we'll accept from the NFL.
Just let it
it's
go.
Also
it's
like
over.
when they moved it out of Hawaii, it stopped being the best players going on vacation and hanging out and like chopping it up. And I think that was where you had the most fun in hearing some of the old stories, like Mike Vanderjagt getting drunk and Peyton Manning calling him out. Like you had a lot of good things that came out of it. You didn't have a whole lot of good things of Dan Orlovsky doing target practice in a conference center. As much as Dan Orlovsky positive as I am,
much as we love it,
I don't need to see Dano taking off the jacket and throwing balls at targets anymore. I think I'm okay with that one being put to bed. Final one would also be Quentin Berry, potentially honorable mention for hero of the night. Good pass set right there as he had to block out
unbelievable.
PCA.
Great video.
That video and that lip reading is phenomenal. Get him out of here.
That was
I love
epic.
that.
Get him out of here.
And really quick, yesterday's hero was Kinley Rasmus from the player from Phoenix City, Alabama. They lost. The dream, unfortunately, is ended now as they lost to Ohio. But she had a great tournament.
What?
One of the best to do it. Kinley Rasmus was dominating people, pitching, hitting, everything. Colby Rasmus' niece. We talked about that yesterday, Drew. So, yeah. So she was. She had a great tournament. Keep your head up, Kinley. You had a great tournament. But the Phoenix City, Alabama team lost to Ohio, so the dream is over. And really quick shout out to our man Jesse. It's his son Cooper's birthday. Shout out to Cooper. We've been saying the name Cooper a lot last couple of days.
Happy birthday,
Cooper. This one is happy birthday to Cooper. All right.
Well done. Way to slip that in.
Beautiful one. Come on now.
All right. Call current.com 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We are
give me some President Carter.
I have to.
I mean, all the comments on the Lil Wayne son kicking field goals, just too good. The Carter 4-3 might be my favorite one. But this one's definitely the best one. Life is a beach. I'm just kicking in the stands. Are you kidding me? That's chef's kiss.
Good stuff.
How about
the lyrics write themselves.
And the Lil Wayne in the Packers jersey reveal, the rivalry jersey reveal.
He gave us a new verse. It wasn't a full song. It was just a verse.
But
he
crafted it.
I don't know that they got enough money to get a full song out of Wayne.
Well, they've been commissioning him for a while.
You gotta be spending a little bit more for that. Also,
he probably did it just for a trip in and a suite and sideline passes and a hotel. And...
I'm gonna get to bring the kid up into the Lambeau suite again. Sweet, that sounds good. Also, kid's probably a Packers fan because he's the kicker. He's wearing 82.
Oh, I love that.
Turn that bad boy around,
that?
Trey Smack.
Boom.
We got to get this kid a Trey Smack jersey.
Oh, that's outstanding. That's
the collab that we all actually need.
Outstanding. All right, when we come back,
go work with
collab with Hunter Baumgardt, a Brewers coverage. But first, Want to remind you that Iron Jock, Paulie Hansen's got a deal going on. Check him out because ironjoc.com, 40% off all the things for Labor Day. Labor 40 is the code. It's $50 or more. You're getting 40% off your entire order of the best workout gear you're going to find anywhere. ironjoc.com. Hunter is up next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Bill, and Armen huddled up on a Thursday in the good land. This portion of the program brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out online, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. See how they can help enhance your life with an array of services tailored towards men. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find a clinic near you. Doesn't cost anything to go in. Get some blood work and find out if they can help you. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. We welcome to the party, to the huddle, our pal Hunter Baumgardt. Been covering the Brewers for us. Has another baseball pregame show coming up this evening at 5 o'clock as the Brewers try to win the series in Flushing. Hunter, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great. How about the change in 24 hours, Hunter, with the Brewers? Just that palate cleansing 8-1 victory made everybody forget the ugliness and the missed opportunities of the extra inning loss and the Cooper Pratt controversy and all that stuff. It seems like everything's back to normal again.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed to do. They just needed to come out 4 runs early. Cooper Pratt beats out an infield ground ball, his first at bat. Like, of course, it makes so much sense. And then they go from there, 6 straight singles. They do what they do, right? And then they finally get a big home run there from Bryce Terang to blow it open. But that was the type of win they needed. And look, I kind of expected that. Like, this team does not respond poorly to those types of things. I think Robert Gasser is another great example of responding to a Pat Murphy move. Cooper Pratt did it last night. I just, you can argue and, we can get into it and all of that as far as the specifics of the benching. But at the end of the day, Pat Murphy does it because he knows that clubhouse and he knows his guys and he knows what his guys are going to respond to. And last night is another perfect example of that.
I want to talk about that in a second, but I'm listening to Sal Frelick a lot, and he said, let's not undervalue and underscore what Bob did tonight. So Robert Gasser, I mean, now, because Cooper Pratt gets benched, checks notes, Robert Gasser, what was it, 7 days ago? Gets pulled in a 2-0 count. So, like, be able to respond from that as well. Didn't have a chance to think about it. Didn't have time to get yourself into a nervousness mindset because all of a sudden you got to get hot and go. What did you see out of him? And potentially, Hunter, is he a part of this bullpen maybe once the playoffs start and you start whittling things down? Or is he just, he's going to make his last couple appearances for the 2026 season and then you're going to talk about Robert Gasser in 27?
I would think he is probably still on this team. I know there's going to have to be some roster decisions. Abner Uribe comes back probably this weekend. Jojo Romero, after he finishes his rehab assignment. Now, of course, as we've mentioned, you do get another pitcher September 1st. How does that factor into it? Do they still want to do it the 6-man rotation where, they have 6 guys in that rotation, but they're kind of mixing and matching a little bit as far as the order in which they go. They're not going, every 6th day you're starting. They're kind of doing different ways. And last night's a good example of it. What impressed me about it was Robert Gasser did exactly what Pat Murphy wanted him to do a week ago. And that was pitch with a lead and pitch well with a lead and go and attack hitters. And look, he allowed 6 hits, but he only allowed 1 earned run and 1 run overall and only walked 2 compared to the 4 that he walked in a less time last time out last Thursday. So I think you could see it right away. 6 days later after that last start, he comes in and he does exactly what Pat Murphy wanted him to do last time. And the second part to that is, like you mentioned, he comes in and he wasn't expecting to obviously come in after 1 pitch last night. So that makes it even more impressive. Sal Frelick giving him a nice shout out after the game, as he should, to go that long in the game, 5 1/3, to go that long, 82 pitches in a game that you weren't expecting to get in that early. Maybe, he was available obviously out of the bullpen or else he wouldn't have been out there, was huge. Now, how does that affect Sunday? Do they still have him? He could still pitch on Sunday, although that's only going to be, obviously on what would be 3 days between. So I don't know, because I was expecting him last night to go, maybe 3, and then you get Bryce Wilson for 3 and kind of, they were coming into the bullpen. I said it on the pregame show last night, like you're without pretty much your A bullpen. So they're going to have to get through this. They used 4 relievers the night before in a loss. So they had to somehow make up those innings. And obviously you had to make up 26 outs last night, and they were able to do it. And Robert Gasser is a big part of that. So we'll see how that, we'll get the probables for the weekend coming up later today, and we'll see if that has stayed the same. And if that unfortunately would affect the Cubs series, which, it was lined up to get your top 4 guys into that Cubs series.
We're talking to Hunter Baumgardt. He's brought to us by Import Minded, your trusted experts. If you have an imported vehicle, South 27th Street, just north of 894, importminded.com. Hunter, I wasn't surprised that Sal Frelick came back. Wasn't necessarily surprised that he reached base 4 times with 3 hits. I was a little surprised he played left field and Churio got the night off. We haven't talked about that yet. A well-timed night off for struggling Churio, and Sal Frelick makes his announces his presence with authority. What do we read into that little substitution there?
I think it was more of a day off for Churio. He does not get many of them, obviously. Churio is a guy who is in that lineup every day, and after a tough game 1 against the Mets in which he went 0 for 5, couple of strikeouts, had a bad at bat with runners in scoring position, it just seemed like, okay, this was a good time to get him a day off. It's not like he's been hitting horribly, though. He's hitting 286 in his last 7 games, last 30 games hitting 275, so it's not like he's been awful. It's just, it felt like a good time, and a good time to get Sal Frelick in there. Look, the first 4 batters of your lineup last night were lefties against the righty Robert Stock, and it worked. So that was, they clearly had a method and a motivation last night to get those lefties in there, and thought it was a good time to get Sal Frelick in there. And he showed why he said after the game, like, I want to be a spark plug for this team. And that's exactly what he was last night. And this team is a little different with him on it. Now, Luis Lara is also a spark plug, and I love the energy he brings. But obviously, Frelick has the energy, but then he also has the cachet behind it and the leadership behind it, and has been there, obviously, in the organization for a longer time and under Pat Murphy, and knows how that clubhouse works, and was one of the ones to talk to Cooper Pratt after he was benched. So, I think you're going to see plenty of Sal Frelick down the stretch. I really do.
With Blake Perkins out of the picture, what's the Brewers' best defensive outfield alignment? Is it what we saw last night with Lara, who's the new Spider-Man, Ben Ogilvy? That's an old guy reference for Armen.
Love it. Bat speed.
Lara and Mitchell in center and Frelick in left. Is that their best outfield alignment right now?
Probably. Churio's gotten better at defense. There's no doubt. And the throwing arm has gotten better. The ability to chase down balls has gotten better. Like the reading of fly balls, like he's gotten better over the last couple of years on the defensive side. But I think you would still say Sal Frelick and, Luis Lara, who, who had a Gold Glove in the minor leagues. You also have Garrett Mitchell, who can chase down pretty much anything. And he's gotten, I think, less timid as the year has gone on, more comfortable out there coming back from the injuries. So I do think that's your best defensive outfield. Now, you want Churio in that lineup, and so you're going to get that. But hey, if you need a late substitution or something like that defensively, that could be. And look, that's again why you want your top 26, 28 guys on September 1st down the stretch, because then you can substitute where you want to.
As we watched Bryce Terang get off the schneid on the home run front yesterday, 19 games without one, doesn't go past me that he had 10 of them in the month of August a year ago, Hunter. Now, I had thought he'd potentially be threatening for that 30-30 season this year. It's going to be hard. You're going to need a hell of a September. Would be a fun one to be able to watch if he's able to get there now with 17 bombs. What have you seen from him, though, offensively? Because he hasn't necessarily clicked in the last month and a half, but that was a big swing that he was able to get last night.
It was. The last 7 games hitting under 200. In fact, over his last 15 games, he's hitting under 200. I should say 197. And it's just, you can see it's just tough for him at the plate right now. And some of those times with runners in scoring position have been tough as well. I think one of the coolest things to come out of last night was Kurt Hogue. And you guys might have talked about it this week or this morning, but his reporting that Terang stayed at the park until the wee hours of the morning the night before last night's game. And it's like, and Christian Yelich was his hitting coach for the session. I mean, that's just awesome. It shows the type of clubhouse that is. And Yelich, who it's not like he's been hitting the cover off the ball himself, but he stays back and tries to help a younger player. And they have a pretty good bond as well. You saw last night, which makes a lot of sense. Bryce Terang hits that home run, goes into the dugout, and Terang and Yelich were both looking at the iPad together for a while. And you don't necessarily always see Yelich looking at the iPad. I think you see those younger players more so looking at the technology. But you saw Terang and Yelich kind of over there, both dissecting what Terang did well on that swing, probably saying, okay, yep, this is what we did last night, or maybe this is what we didn't do last night in the cage or whatnot. But yeah, I think it's simply getting him back. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, getting these guys to produce at not necessarily MVP level, but just kind of going back to their average is so big for this offense, whether it's Terang, whether it's Contreras. I mean, look, Contreras hitting 433 in his last 7, Yelich hitting 348 in his last 7. You're starting to see the upward trajectory of these guys, and Terang, great to see. I'm sure it felt good last night, and hopefully that can propel him. And you need Churio to kind of do the same, and then you're really cooking because the pitching is good enough. We know that. Just get that offense rolling.
And the examples like that, they clearly are working hard, and they work together to try and make the bet to figure things out and get better. And no one can convince me that Yelich is hitting so many hard balls into fielders. I mean, he really is. His hard hit rate is really good. I was saying earlier, we talked about him being the unofficial captain. Shouldn't they just give him the C at this point and make it official? I would love to see it, Hunter. I don't know how you feel about that if you have an opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they don't traditionally obviously do that, but I think if there was one person who was going to get it, I feel like it's Christian Yelich. Now, Brandon Woodruff is up there with the pitchers as well. He's obviously instrumental, but obviously he hasn't been on the field this year very much.
All right. So Brewers had scored, I think, 10 runs in the 4 games leading up to last night. They put up 8 last night. It helps. 6 hits in a row helps. Runners in scoring position, they were 8 for 15 or something.
That's a little bit better than 2 for 14.
A little bit better than 2 for 14. But they put up 8 runs without contributions from Jake Bauers. Where are we with Jake Bauers, and how much are his shin splints a concern?
Yeah, it sounds like it's day to day right now. Something that popped up in May, flared up here within the last week or two, and flared up pretty badly. So yeah, boy, he's been beat up. He had the abdominal soreness, he had the swollen foot, and now he's got shin splints. And the guy's like, and look, he's playing every day. Like, that's not something he had done for a really long time. So I think that's significant, and I think that's part of it. And we talk a lot about the pitching and needing to limit innings on the pitching side. Look at some of these guys have not played a full major league season in a while on the hitting side either. So you kind of need to pay attention to that too. And I think that's what they're trying to do, get these guys off their feet sometimes, whether it's, hey, if you have something little nagging you, maybe keep them out a little longer, whether it was Bryce Terang out of that LA series. Just make sure these guys get healthy before they come back so they don't do something different. I think that was part of Dustin May last night. Like, yes, maybe you could throw, but at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to change your mechanics a little bit, and maybe you get hurt doing something else. And so that's maybe part of the reason with Jake Bauers as well. Plus, that can be very painful from what I've heard. That's, a very painful thing too. So I think, I think with Jake Bauers, it's day to day, and hopefully he's back soon. The good news was he could play the night before because he came in late in the ball game, pinch hit in the 9th inning and played first base, for the 9th and 10th. But maybe you do keep him out another night tonight. If you're getting the production from like Yelich, Contreras, and obviously Terang and Frelick back and hitting like he is, okay, you can maybe sustain a little bit without Jake Bauers.
Does Abner Uribe do the full dice celebration pitching with the Timber Rattlers, since a lot of those kids aren't old enough to play craps and go to the casino? How did he look as yesterday? It also sounds like he's going to be sooner rather than later back with the big league club.
It does, yeah. Scoreless inning, made a nice play on the mound too, that I saw on social media. Like, he seemed like he had his swagger. One of the things he told reporters was he was trying to work on his confidence over this time that he's been out. And it's just like, you think of those
Never
guys
seen him
like,
lacking it. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to know that what kind of pitcher he's going to be after that.
Wow. Confidence for him.
Yeah, the showman, and it's interesting because he is and Jeffrey Yan we've seen a little bit of in this series. He has not done the jump and strike. I was really hoping he would.
Yeah, we're getting robbed, to be honest.
Yeah, we really were. But Abner's kind of obviously on those lines when it comes to celebrations. But hey, we don't necessarily think about those guys as needing more confidence, especially if they're pitching well, but maybe it's some things that they see from their end that like, I could be doing this better. And maybe he's able to work on that over this time. It does sound like he'll be back this weekend against Texas, which will be great for that bullpen. You're clearly lacking that one more, leverage guy because they were kind of lacking one more leverage guy throughout this season, and because you lost Angel Serpa so early in the season, and then Sensatella has kind of been that guy. So if you have that, and then you add Abner, you like that bullpen. So it sounds like all systems are
are pretty much a go for this weekend. And that's really good because whenever a guy's put on the IL with that flexor injury, you worry a little bit, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty much, close to at least a minimum stint on the IL.
So Brewers going for a series win today with Miz on the mound. Is it just me, or does Miz seem to have a little extra gear when he faces New York teams? It seems like that's been his MO. 25th start of the season for Miz, 13-5, 1.68 ERA. Last time out was Friday against Atlanta. Threw pretty well, but not eye-poppingly Miz-like. Hunter, what are you expecting from the big kid tonight?
Yeah, I think he does shine in these moments, right? You do see the velocity go up sometimes against the LAs, the New Yorks, the Chicagos, the bigger markets. He's admitted that he likes pitching against the bigger markets, and hey, who wouldn't? And this is another cool environment for him to be in. I think for me tonight, it's just, okay, can he get that, can we see that fastball command back? Because it wasn't there against the Braves. Now, it was incredibly impressive and shows how much he's grown, that he could work around that against the Braves and still throw 6 shutout innings. I mean, that was really, really good against the Braves. Was it 6 shutout or 6-1 run? I can't remember, 0 or 1 runs. But either way, he was fantastic. And so, but you obviously know that Miz is at his best when he's got the fastball command, when he's got the velocity. So I think tonight let's see if he can get that back, get that velocity back up. You're obviously watching the velocity a little bit because at this point in the year, you obviously don't want it to significantly drop off at all. Not that I don't think it would with Miz, but you're keeping an eye on that. Kyle Harrison's velocity went back up and against the Mets, which is really good to see. So you're just watching that a little bit because you're getting to these points in the season where these guys are going through a full major league season, Miz first full major league season for the first time, and you want them to keep their numbers up.
This was actually the site of the most mortal I think Miz looked a year ago. This might have been the welcome to the big league moment. I think he got pulled in the 4th inning. Maybe Soto or Lindor hit an absolute tank shot on him last year. He couldn't find the strike zone for a little while. It's crazy to think, just Hunter, about how the mounds used to be such an agitator for him a year ago, and his ability to calm down and the confidence of saying, "Hey, you ground streaker folks, let's fix this up here right now. Yeah. All right, I'm going to win the Cy Young. The least you can do is add me a little bit of dirt and a little bit of clay." That kind of confidence probably comes from a couple of conversations with the skipper saying, "Hey, man, make sure it's to your liking." But you put pelts on the wall and strike out as many as he has. That confidence is a lot different than the last time he pitched there a year ago.
Yeah, he has definitely some cachet to be able to say, "Hey, I'd like this changed over here. Can we get that?" Enough. It's he's got plenty. He's one of the stars of the league right now, and I think the ground school will be like, "Yep, well, hey, whatever you need," which is really good.
Yes, Mr. Mizorowski. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, absolutely. We will get that for you right now. Hold on one second.
Love it. Hunter B, thank you for joining us. We'll be listening tonight, 5:00, the baseball pre-game show. Correct?
You got it. 5:00 for the 6:10 start. And final game here, the 3-game series. And then they host Texas right in the middle of a playoff race, right around 500 coming up this weekend. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to enjoy any country music night tomorrow night? Hunter Baumgardt is a country music man.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be at the game. Going to be in the clubhouse. Are we going to be able to get any heads Carolina, tails California for our Hunter Baumgardt tomorrow night?
I do enjoy Cole Swindell. I will be working with Armen on our Packers coverage tomorrow. So no country music night for Hunter. I did the math a while ago.
I don't look at I feel bad he can't go. I didn't do it. I mean, I didn't make the schedules.
I love it.
We're sorry. We gotta help where it's needed, and we got
maybe we can get you out there at game. What time are you guys going to start at 11?
We hope
get you guys
sooner than that.
We sure hope sooner than that. We sure hope so.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
We hope. All right, Hunter, have a great day.
See you, buddy.
We'll be listening. Yep. When we come back, we will close up shop. We'll have a wake and bake story from happyplacehemp.com and tie up any loose ends. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Oh, baby, it's been a fun Thursday here on the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Madison, and the world. Drew, Billy, and Armen. Time to close up shop. We do that with our Wake and Bake story presented by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Check these guys out. Buy the products. Use the code Huddle, 25% off and free shipping. No matter where you are, especially in Wisconsin, you can get these wonderful CBD products at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Huddle. Cut the code, 25% off, free shipping. Billy, what do you got?
This from stupiddope.com.
Oh, well.
Seems fitting, right? There is a new food item that might be the unhealthiest of all time. Now, we believe that this is actual. We believe that we are not getting duped. We have seen this from a multitude of different entities and different outlets telling us that there is a new spot and a new food item, Drew, that is going to potentially ruin everybody's stomach for the rest of their lives. Are you ready for it?
I am ready.
I'm so ready.
KFC is releasing the new Oreo chicken burger.
What?
This was in Japan or China? Or
it launches in China tomorrow, August 28th.
Now, which part of the Oreo is the chicken inside?
The bun.
Like, but there's
The bun.
no. So I want cream though. Is
It's
there
an
any
Oreo
cream?
bun.
Wow, so the Oreo cookie bun with the stamping of the cookie still right there in the middle, locked in with a nutritious slice of lettuce that definitely won't give you explosive diarrhea. A slab fillet of chicken right in between the two cookies. Now, this tweet had 27.6 million views. Comes with a cookie bun. Bizarrest of crossovers you've ever seen. Also, mashed potatoes covered in crushed cookies.
Let's go.
On the fried chicken fillet.
I don't know what we're doing, but I mean, this is great.
There haven't been any quotes, again, asking if this would line up, but the China Insider News has pictures of it in the box, and it is as strange and awkward looking as you possibly could imagine. But they're right on the box. It's finger licking good. KFC and Oreo together for the collab that nobody really realized they needed. Now, the savory flavors have been hot in America, right? I mean, chicken and waffles is
for
something
sure.
a lot of people love.
Yes.
Deep fried Oreos. You're going to the Milwaukee Mile this weekend, and we talked to our friend Tim earlier on.
Sporkies.
There might be some Sporkies, might be some deep fried Oreos there. Those are an absolute staple. I can't say that I wouldn't want to potentially try one. That being said, this might be the one that even I would pass on.
Oh, Bill, are you kidding me? Oh man, I'm a little disappointed in you. No, I think the wilder part is the mashed potato with the cookies. I could see the cookie and the chicken, but the mashed potato with the cookie crumbs, that's the wilder one.
But you need it to be a little, because I was thinking it was going to be too heavy. You had to have some kind of cream, like you said.
I would like the cream part of the Oreo.
That's where the mashed potatoes, I think, compensate for that.
Yeah.
And I'm a big mashed potatoes fan. So you're always going to see me getting the KFC bowl because it's got the mashed potatoes in it.
Correct.
That's the other part. KFC has already won. They have that delicious chicken bowl with the mashed potatoes and the corn and everything you need. Don't mess with anything. Just add an Oreo to it. Just put the Oreo there on top, and that's even better. But KFC, go and get your Oreo chicken burger.
Fantastic. All right. It's been a good run today. Tomorrow is game day, Packers and Cardinals, of course. And also we'll be recapping Brewers Mets and looking forward to Brewers Rangers. Billy off tomorrow. We'll soldier ahead, skating shorthanded. See you at 5 a.m.
Peace.